Welcome, welcome. This is another video, and this is just me reading the Songs of War script because just a few days ago it was announced that it's being canceled because it just didn't get back enough money to fund it, or it didn't get the views, or there's several problems. If you guys are wondering why exactly the show was canceled, then you should search up Songs of War, a cancellation announcement. I think that was the name of the video. That it's over. But they did release It's over. It's sad. It's kind of sad. I was really looking forward to season 2 and 3. You should know what it is if you've been watching my channel. It does kind of suck, but at the same time we got the script and we got to know where the story ended. So I'm going to be reading the script now. I haven't read it yet. I was waiting for this so I could read it with friends. Actually, Nemuri, who you might remember from the Hunger Games thing, already read. I think she already read the whole thing, but she's still
Yeah,
here.
I read it in one sitting in like
She's
an
not
hour.
going to spoil anything, I hope. But
I'm not going
I
to.
also have.
I'm just
How do
gonna.
you pronounce
I'm just
your
gonna.
full name, Infin? Is it like Ardoniel Infin Girl? I didn't even. I never
Ardoniel,
noticed
that's
that. I'm just going to say
yeah, just
Infin,
Girl of Infinity. Yeah,
Girl of
Infin's fine.
Infinity, or that's actually how you appear in the Black Plasma Studios videos. Actually, I think
God.
Girl of Infinity.
Mhm.
So
And you
actually, she's
literally
a
made an
diamond
Infinity
patron
War
to
trailer.
BPS, which means I think that means she pays $10 to them every month.
Yeah, at least for now. Until they're
Upgrades to
better.
Emerald.
I did for
I would
like
actually
at
be a
least
patron
Emerald.
if I made money off my channel and had enough to pay. So
Mhm.
anyway, just warning to everybody. This will obviously spoil Songs of War. The entire first season will be spoiled right off the bat because we're skipping past that to go to season 2.
Yeah,
And if
season 2. I'm just going
you should
through it right
watch
now.
you should watch the first season before you start reading this. There's no point in watching the second and third season because, well, you can't. They don't exist.
Hmm.
So you can just watch us read the script because that's like the best you can do, or read the script
It
yourself.
starts
Actually,
on page
I
127, by the way. So.
Yeah. We would have read this earlier. Oh my word, my voice. We would have read this earlier, but the last 48 hours for me were insane. So just like on road trip and things, so I couldn't do it until now.
Should we like also like do
okay,
it
my
as
my
like
my,
what
my brother
season
came
it's
in the
in?
room for a second, didn't realize I was recording, but I just like hand motioned
Hey,
him to
Sine.
not interrupt me. Tried to be as nice about it as I could, but I couldn't actually say anything to you. Oh, Sinead's here.
Hi,
Yeah,
Sine.
I invited.
Hello.
We had Sinead join as well if she could. She probably isn't going to be here the whole time. We're not going to read the entire script in this one video. Obviously not. We might
No.
read like 5 episodes of season 2. Are we going to take turns reading it?
I was thinking we could divide up characters or something.
Oh,
Death
yeah.
Singer impression?
I actually really. Nemuri, you have to do the Death Singer.
Yes.
We should probably decide that as we go. I'm going to actually quickly scroll down to page 126 because that's where season 2 starts at. This is it actually has a shortcut up here that says
Sine
season
has
1
to stay
episode
on mute.
9, episode 10. I'm just gonna keep scrolling down a bit where
That works. Oh, almost
But
there.
we gotta also
okay,
read
here
it
we go,
so
here we
the
go.
text
Season 2
sounds
episode 1.
interesting.
I'm not gonna scroll past that. Nice Black Plasma Studios logo right here. They actually put it on every page. It's great. I love their logo.
Sine says she has to stay on mute.
Okay, so it has to stay on mute. F.
20 minutes. Yep.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna start reading this. I'll just read the. Should I just read the dialogue or should I read the other stuff as well?
Read the gray stuff as well. It's
I will.
significant, like really significant.
Okay, so let's see. Camera tilts up to reveal a fight in the snow. Shots are varied and seemingly unconnected. Suddenly the scene is out at sea, then next on it to a beach. Next on a beach, not next to a beach. And Erdoni, the tide singer, leans over on the edge of a pier. a fishing rod in hand. Then cuts to the grand tournament and the Death Singer's denial. Then things begin to pick up and get more intense as he slays the Free Masters and confronts the fourth when the Tide Singer suddenly intervenes. Okay, that escalated quickly. So this is like a flashback, I'm guessing. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. I usually do that when I'm reading stories, but it doesn't really. I can't really do it if it's really vague, and I'm a bit confused right off the bat.
It's a bit easier for me because like I'm a visual learner.
So Nemuri, can
this
you
is
like
really easy for
explain?
me.
Can you like help me figure out what's going on here? I
Okay,
think this
so
is like a flashback.
so he's killed. So yeah, it's a flashback. He's killing the three masters, and he's about to kill the last one, but then Achillean intervenes
So actually,
and stops
Aegis
him.
Nestoris was saved by
Yeah.
the Tide Singer. I
Yeah,
thought he
so
was just
basically-
like escaped.
basically.
Shows them fighting
I'll
briefly
say-
on the
I'll say
mountain
this,
as seen at
I
the end
will-
of season
yeah.
1. Then the Death Singer going through the portal and coming out the other side just as the last season ended. Oh, it just... Oh my goodness, and it starts right where we left off. Hadeon is frozen. I'm not going to say their last names because that's pointless. Hadeon is frozen in disbelief while Zulius fires his offensive song. The Death Singer evades to the side and begins sprinting towards them. He quickly kills Zulius Kaltar. Why does he kill him? Like right off the bat?
Okay,
You can't.
Yeah.
This.
Are you
But,
kidding? I thought he was going to last a bit longer.
Nope.
Like I thought that was a joke.
I thought so too.
Actually, I kind of
No.
thought he was. I kind of knew he was gonna die actually
got
because
spoiled.
someone posted on Inspiration's Discord server, a script where it says Zulius Kaltaris
R.I.P.
death
Broccoli.
noises, but I think that was just a joke.
R.I.P.
Zulius Kaltaris death sound.
Broccoli.
I should
Oh
be
my
sad
gosh.
because he died, but then all of a
Oh.
sudden, death sound.
Yeah.
That's just perfect.
Well,
I should be
rest
upset
in
that he
peace,
died, but.
Zulius.
That
No,
Death Singer
rest
looks
in
up
peace.
to see Hadeon, still surprised at his
That's already
appearance.
one of my favorites.
Death Singer,
Oh,
believe me, I am as surprised as you
Wait, do you
are.
want me to read it?
Oh no,
Do you
yeah,
want me to
you're
read
supposed
it?
to. Yeah, you do that. Remember, you can do it like 10 times better than me.
I am as surprised as you are.
Hadeon Mendors, Death Singer. I should have known. I can't do his voice. It's like really light,
You want me
and I could have done it like in 2018. Yeah.
Pretend you're on helium.
Death Singer, I should have known you were responsible for this sinister plot. The Death Singer starts walking towards Hadeon.
Don't kill him.
You were right.
Don't kill him, not
I should
Hadeon.
have known.
Not him too.
Don't
And
kill
Galadar's
him.
still there as well.
No, they're
I
killing off the last of the others. They're all
I
dead.
was thinking that Hadeon was going to die before
All of them are dead.
Zulius. I still can't get
All of
over
them are dead.
death sound. All of them are died.
All of them
Oh,
are dead.
Hadeon's
like,
dead
literally.
too. The Death Singer charges forward and
No!
quickly kills him. Death sound.
No!
Why do they keep writing death sound? Whose idea was this? Was it David or Badger who came up with that?
No, it basically, if you like watch Luch's videos, he inserts the voice lines, and when the Death Singer actually kills Hadeon, like Hadeon releases like this grunt sort of noise.
Oh gosh.
So like that's
Oh,
what they
no.
mean by death sound.
In the background, the other Voltauris, I pronounced it wrong. The other Voltauris are killing the last of the other Ardoni. How is that
So they're all
possible?
dead.
Like, I get that the Death
So they're
Singer
all
is.
dead.
I get that the Death Singer's like really
They're
powerful.
caught off guard, so obviously they're going to be frozen in place. So then the Voltauris just take the opportunity and just kill them all.
But there's only like 3 of them. There's like 10 other Ardoni, including Galadar,
Yeah.
who's still like a really powerful
there's
warrior.
a lot more Voltauris. It's not
Still
just the
not
3 of
going
them.
well.
Well,
There's a
not
lot
on the
more.
island, not on the mountain right now. Not as far as I know. Of course, there's more like
probably
elsewhere. I mean, like Tigran would
really
probably
not
be killing
going
all
well.
of them. It would be
Yeah, that's probably
it would be
what happened.
Tigran. Okay, the Death Singer turns toward Tigran and Lucidius.
How long has it been?
Wait, is Sine talking now? Sine, you do
Yes.
Lucidius. You have to do Lucidius.
Okay, wait, let me.
Can you see the screen?
128.
4 years in Gressus.
So it wasn't 150 years, it was
100
154 years. I feel so stupid
Yep.
now.
Interesting.
You
They've
had
been counting.
154 years to prepare, yet I still return to a battle.
Oh no, is he gonna kill them for failure?
No,
Oh goodness.
he wouldn't do that. He just wants to save his clan.
I mean,
True.
surely
I
he
guess
cares about
that's
his
fine.
clan, right? Otherwise, the entire
Yeah,
point
he
of his
does.
villain
He's
of
not
his
gonna kill
villainhood
them.
is
Yeah, I
dead
don't
is
know.
gone. Like unlike Tigran, who's
Tigran.
just
He's
like
not Tiger.
who like kills for fun.
Tiger's just
He
yeah,
actually
we don't
like
talk about that.
We
We
don't
don't
talk
talk
you
about
about
had.
that.
that.
Wait, can you read his line again?
I can't see the line. Can you scroll
No,
down a
not
little
you, not you, Nemuri, because it's
bit?
Steph
Okay.
Singer.
Nem.
Oh, you had. Oh, wait. Then one after or the one I just read?
Which one you just read?
Oh, okay. You had
The one after Lucidius.
154 used to prepare. Oh, where are my prime songs?
Wait, I can't see that. What? Oh, there.
Alias and oh
I
no,
just
sorry,
have
that's
the
Okay, now I
Sunhead's
can
line.
see it.
I just have the
Where
script
are
open
my
on a
prime
separate
songs?
tab, so I'm just reading off of that.
Wait. Okay, there it is. Come on. There it is. Thalius and Darius moved them before we could attack, but we...
You do not have them.
No, sir. But we may know where one is.
Do they
You
know where the
may
Mobilium
know
Prime
where
is?
one is. No, I'm not gonna say.
Have you at least present?
Oh, who?
There's another one after this. The Death Singer glares at Lucidius, who
Have you
looks
at
down in
least
fear.
Have you at least prevented the Ender Knight's return?
Tigran walks up from the other side. Tigran. So he has to do
Okay,
Tigran as
Tigran.
well.
So now you can do Tigran.
Okay.
Do Tigran.
No Ender Knights have appeared since the Great War. However, we were unable to retrieve the remaining Ender Dragon.
There are others.
There are
Interesting.
others.
Yes, of course there's more. Obviously. The Death Singer
'cause remember the
gripped his
guards
sword.
like one of the it's
The
like
Death
one of
Singer.
the few remaining in Ardonia, so
My eyes are widening.
and Achillean?
We heard you killed him before entering the portal.
Finally some good news. Come, we have much work to do and not a moment to waste.
Oh. Okay.
Are we not reading the
Narrator.
green text?
This is actually it. This is one of those
Narrator.
endings that actually kills you right off the bat and shocks you. Sorry, no, beginnings, not endings.
Right?
I thought they were gonna
Yep.
escape.
No.
Nope.
But like
Oh,
those
I can't
characters
see.
are so expendable. I at least thought Zulius was going to escape because he was like hyped up to be like the
Nope.
new Fallius. It's like
Nope.
it's like David's just like the
Nope.
Fallius. No, hey David, is
Nope.
Zulius going to survive
Nope.
past 2 episodes? No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay, I'm
Zulius
gonna
is-
read this gray text.
Oh,
A sound
no.
from a portal can be heard. The Death Singer turns around and sees the portal closing and then close entirely. Okay, so how does the Tide Singer get through then?
He's sneaky boy.
I'm not gonna
He's a
say.
sneaky boy.
Okay, he turns
I'm
and
not gonna
heads.
say.
I know that the Tide Singer has to get through. Like the likelihood of that
Yeah,
not happening is
Maybe-
insane.
Maybe he went through when they weren't looking. Who knows?
Sneaky boy.
Yeah, he could've
exactly.
snuck
This
in and
reminds me
out.
of the Flame of Hope when he came through.
Yep.
Probably.
It was one of my favorite
Yeah, I was-
chapters to write.
I was imagining
Oh
something
my
like that
God.
to happen in season 2.
The Death Singer turns around and sees a portal closing and then close entirely. I already read that part. He turns and heads towards an outcrop. The Death Singer stands up on a cliff on the cliff face and looks out over the
Yeah.
world. Title text. Title text. Yes, camera races up over the floating mountains of Ataraxia. Text appears saying 6 months later. Uplifting music is playing and a sound of wooden swords hitting can be heard. Gallius and Sen are seen training with wooden swords. Okay, so like Sen doesn't have plot armor, he's actually getting trained, which means that if he beats up a Voltaris, he has a reason to do that. Good thing. Good. Gallius. Amidst sparring. Good, Sen. Good. Sen stands sideways. Can I try reading this in a Carl voice? I so want to. I just don't know if I can do it properly. Let's see. Good, Sen. Good. Does not sound that great.
There you go.
Is that okay?
That's better.
And Sen
That's
stands
better.
sideways
Fine.
as they continue practicing. Gallius strikes Sen on the back and he falls down. Grunt as you land
I
in the
can
dirt.
wait
I don't think I landed in the dirt. I think I'm still in my room perfectly fine, but Sen definitely landed in the dirt. But not good
I
enough.
feel like it's written in like second point.
With time and training, I will teach you as I have taught others. Now back on your feet. Sen gets
Taught
back up.
others?
More montaging. Training includes sparring, blacksmithing, balancing, studying in the library. Is that training?
Yeah.
Running, blindfolded challenges.
Doing his reading.
What? This is like the most.
This
I
is
thought he was
really
only
fun.
gonna need like
Karate
sword
Kid,
fighting
Sword
and more.
Nope.
Between training, he repeatedly gazes up at the shrine above Ataraxia where the Ardoni wield their songs. Amid
Nice.
sparring, when will you teach me how to wield my song, Gallius? Gallius frowned slightly. Amid sparring. When you are ready. Sen stops fighting to discuss. We began training 6 months ago. The Voltaris could attack, and I need my song. Why do you wish to Why do you wish to learn your song?
Oh, Infant,
Gallius
just a
raises his
warning,
sword
this is the part that Fire
forward.
wants to draw. Just like this
Gallius
next part.
raises
Okay.
his sword forward to encourage Sen to resume sparring. Because we have the unique ability to harness their power. To deny their usage is to deny the very thing that makes us Ardoni. Fallius line here.
Yeah, just like...
Gallius looks surprised and suddenly sees Fallius in front of him. He's alive, guys. He got revived. That's it. No,
No,
I'm joking.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably a flashback.
No,
As Sen's
it's a
voice fades to
flashback.
Fallius shouting angrily. It is our unique ability to harness their power. To deny their usage is to deny the very thing that makes us Ardoni. I transitioned into screaming because of that blue part. Fallius
Sounds like
activates
a
his
death metal
shockwave
Yeah, this
song.
is the part that Fire
Shockwave
wanted to
song.
draw.
Okay, yeah,
Whoa.
the aggro pound thing. And Gallius snaps back to reality as Sen
Quake.
hits him with
Quake.
it's aggro quake. My bad. Hits him with his wooden sword. Gallius appears frozen and worried. Sen is confused at having easily hit Gallius and not having him even react. Somewhat shaken up. That is enough sparring for now. Practice your balance. We will reconvene at sundown. I'm actually kind of satisfied with the Gallius voice I'm doing.
Traumatized
Yeah.
Gallius. Oh no.
Gallius walks off quickly and Sen still looks very surprised. The mood has shifted and the music has transitioned from the uplifting montage music to something more somber and mysterious. Sen climbs up onto the balancing pole as Gallius heads back inside the blacksmith and sits down and sighs. I might just not even read the really minor text because it's probably a
Yeah.
waste of my time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read the dialogue and some of the more important events.
Mhm.
Sigh. He begins sorting through some papers on his desk. A thump is heard from outside, and Sen could be seen climbing back onto the pole. The pole, I believe it's pole with an E, not with 2 L's. I thought this was
Yeah,
edited by like 5 people
there's-
after having fallen off. Gallius looks at the next sheet of paper, and his eyes widen as he reads it. He pockets the paper and begins heading up to the aviary. Upon arriving, he calls out, "Merlin, I have a message that needs sending." Nothing but the sound of birds can be
Fun
heard.
fact,
Merlin, this is
actually has a
important
voice-
business.
Merlin actually has a voice actor.
Yeah, Grimm
because
also had a voice
originally he
actor. It was
supposed to
David
have-
himself. That
Yeah,
was
but
such an
but, like,
amazing
Merlin-
reveal.
Yeah, but Merlin actually has a voice actor because originally he was supposed to have lines in season 1. So in Luke's video, Merlin actually has a voice actor. So I'll just say
Wait,
that.
isn't he
Yeah.
like a
So-
bird or?
Yeah,
Merlin's
just wait.
voice can be heard from off camera as Gallius looks up into the trees. It is unclear who Merlin is at this time. It's Yi. Yi's real
No.
name is Merlin.
Stop.
Aha!
Stop.
Finally, something worthy of my time. Cuts to nighttime. A few
That's
bandits
actually
are.
pretty accurate to the actual voice.
Yeah, it
actor.
is. It is.
I didn't even
It
know
is.
his voice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep reading his lines in that voice
Easy.
now.
Okay, he sounds like a parrot. I'll say this. He sounds like a
Yeah.
parrot.
Is
if
he a
that
parrot?
helps.
So we didn't actually
Oh
see
my
him.
God, Zazu
He
from
wasn't
The
actually
Lion
supposed to be
King. It's
seen in
Zazu
that
from The
scene,
Lion
right?
King.
He wasn't supposed to be seen there, right? I still
Oh
can't
my God,
believe
did you
that
just say
Zulius and
Merlin is
Hadion
Zazu?
died so early. Cuts to
And
nighttime.
Galadar.
And Galadar.
I don't think they mentioned Galadar by
Oh my
name.
gosh.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
just
but
said
they
they
said
killed
they were
off all the
killing
others.
them all
I'm pretty
off.
sure he's dead. Yep.
He's dead.
F. Why did they kill him? They hyped these guys up to be like super important characters. It's actually kind of
Nope.
unsatisfying. Like,
No, if you go on the CCC page, they're actually listed off as supporting. So
Yeah.
yeah, but they were like really
That's
hyped
not
up by
supporting.
episode
don't
9.
talk
They have
about
like
that.
2 lines.
We don't talk about that.
That was actually the same voice actor who did Galadar and Hadion.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
brothers.
They're brothers.
And the
just like
same as with
Gallius
Fallius and Gallius. So the
Yeah.
Galley Gang has lost a
goodness.
member, that means. And Rainbow will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Tough.
It cuts to
Yes.
nighttime. A few bandits are
Galley
sneaking
Gang.
through Havenshire. One of them is carrying a heavy chest carefully. Cuts a bit further back down the path. A lone figure is following them. Occasionally, shots of a dark object can be seen passing overhead
God.
between a tree top. My reading is so sometimes.
Dear Lord.
Between the treetops, and once in front of the moon. A few of the bandits moved ahead and arrive at a small boat dock on the river. The first squats down and begins untying the boat, while the other turns around to guard, torch drawn. We see that he is from the Unyielding Legion group, the same Jalkar was in. Okay, but how do we see that, is my question. Unyielding Legionnaire, grumpy. Grumpy. I hate these night missions. Can't see a thing. Suddenly, a dark figure swoops past suddenly and throws a squatting person into the water with a splash. The other turns, sword drawn. Jensen! Something swoops from behind and it cuts away. The remaining unyielding legionnaires are nearing the boat dock. Chess was still with them. Suddenly, a whistling is heard and one of them is struck by an arrow and falls over dead. It's...
GG.
Abigail!
Abigail.
Abigail!
a savage.
She's become
It's
a
been
crime
6 months,
hunter.
okay, Monroe?
They
It's
turn
been
and
six
see Abigail
months. She's
behind them, bow
obviously a
drawn,
savage.
as she fires another arrow, and she's killing them too. I really thought she was
Yeah.
gonna have like a
It's
huge.
been 6 months.
I was seriously thinking she was gonna
It's
have like a
been
huge
6 months.
crisis. Like, I just took away a human life. Oh my god.
No, it's been 6 months.
It's
I
been
know
6
it's been
months.
6
She's
months,
already
okay?
done past
I just
that
feel like
stage.
that would have been an interesting thing to go into with the script. Okay, they turn to see. Okay, she fires another arrow. One of the legionnaires steps in front and blocks it with his shield. Abigail draws her sword and charges. The chest carrier sets the chest down and charges at Abigail. They fight briefly, but Abigail kills him fairly quickly. It's been
Oh, boy.
how much training can she do in 6 months? San must be pretty skilled too
I
then.
mean,
And begins fighting the
I
second.
mean,
During the fight, a sword slashes the chest slightly and cuts a gash in it, allowing some eerie, mysterious light to glow out.
Oh.
Okay, so whose
to
chest got
hear.
slashed, or is it Abigail's or the Legionnaire guy?
I think it was
It's the
Legionnaire.
Legionnaire.
Abigail and the Legionnaire have a balanced fight for a bit, each showing skill with the sword, but the Legionnaire gets the upper hand and bashes Abigail backward a bit with his shield. Oof. It's an oof. Mystery Legionnaire, my favorite name. I'm beginning to grow tired of all the trouble you've been causing us, girl. This is like Jalkar, but like way more formal.
This is.
I'm just getting started. The dialogue here becomes very quick back and forth. You're out of your league. I've been told that before. Should have listened. It's not my strongest suit. I can see that. I love this dialogue. Suddenly, figures begin
Savage.
appearing in the
I love that, I
wilderness
love
nearby, surrounding Abigail. She backs up a bit and draws her bow, preparing to fire on any that move. The unyielding legion works together, yet you work alone. Dark figure flies out of the sky and lands behind behind? I read that wrong. Beside Abigail with an extremely loud thud. The figure is revealed as Luna, who is now much larger, the size of a full-grown horse. So that,
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's not necessarily working alone, is she? An arrow
Nope.
flies towards Abigail,
thought
but
she was.
Luna puts her wing in the way, which deflects the arrow. Abigail fires back and kills him, then draws her sword as some of them charge forward. I thought that guy was going to be at least somewhat important. Luna charges into the midst.
Right.
The midst? It's the midst. Okay, so they had to leave, I think.
Mhm.
Luna charges into the midst and begins attacking them as well, using her tail a lot to bash people away. She singles one off, raises her head high, and attempts to let out a burst of flame, but only a few sparks come out. The person looks down at the twinkling embers, confused as to what happened, then charges Luna. Abigail re-engages a mysterious legionnaire. In the background, Luna can be seen being chased by the soldier. Luna then goes over to a nearby torch on a post and breaks the post off the ground and turns around wielding. I so would have loved to actually watch this. Back to Abigail fighting, we see Luna chasing away the soldier with the torch. Oh man, I love Luna already.
Great.
A mysterious legionnaire backs up as another fighter engages Abigail, and then he picks up help. Then he picks up the chest and hurries from the docks. Hurries for the docks, not from, leaving behind a faint trail of glowing particles escaping the cut in the chest. Luna accidentally brushes her torch up against a small barn and it catches fire. Great job! She looks back at it, surprised that the fire is quickly spreading. She attempts to fan out the fire with her wings, but it only gets worse. That is not how you put out a fire.
Sweet
The
Luna.
mysterious legionnaire gets to the boat with the chest in hand when an arrow hits nearby. He turns to see Abigail on the pier in front of him. In front of her. Okay, so that must be that mysterious legionnaire is also a girl, I think. A mystery legionnaire.
Maybe?
Now I understand why you're so interested in this chest. I don't care what's in the box. I want information, anything that can be used to destroy the unyielding legion. I'm not in the mood to talk. Tell me what I want, or I'll have my dragon bite your head off. Abigail turns to see Luna running off with a bucket of water to put out the fire on the barn, which is spread extensively now. Well, when she comes back, she's going to bite your head off. Oh man, this is great. Luna turns and shakes her head no in the background. Oh, this is so good. I would have loved to see this animated. I'll be the one gathering
Luna is
information.
such
Now
a
we know
good
you
girl.
have a dragon. He throws the chest at Abigail, suddenly, which catches her off guard. By the time she recovers, he has already hopped onto the boat and pushed off. She runs toward the boat, then stops as she's distracted by what just fell out of the now open chest. A small glowing eye of the end hovers out and away. When she turns back to the boat, it's already a
Ooh.
distance down the river. She draws her bow and fires a few shots, which hit the boat harmlessly. Suddenly, Luna comes up beside her and lights one of her arrows. Abigail smiles, then fires the flaming arrow towards the boat. The Legionnaire steps on the shield which is on the deck of the boat, and it flips up into his hand just in time to block the flaming arrow. He then throws it down into the water to let it fizzle out. Luna's eyes are wide in amazement, but Abigail is frustrated. When seeing Luna, Luna pretends to act frustrated as well. Abigail turns and goes back to the eye of the end, which is hovering some distance off. She reaches for it, but it moves away a bit. She has to lean forward and grab it. A slow beating sound is heard, common of ender objects. The beating sound fades to the beat of war drums as the camera cuts to a shot before quickly over water elsewhere sometime during the next day. It is cloudy. The camera tilts up, revealing the jungles of Felden. There is a battle raging between the soldiers of Felden and necromancer-controlled undead. This is something I really want to see. Lucan walks into the shot and holds a sword and kills a few nearby zombies. Okay, so his skills probably increased as well. Kiyoshi rides with his halberd and kills some
Bruh.
more. They clear the outside of Fort Zuka and regroup. Kiyoshi's a bit agitated because they may be suffering a loss and they can't retake the fort quickly. Wait, they lost Fort Zuka as well?
Oh boy.
Kiyoshi, Fort
What are you
Zuka.
doing,
I'm trying to avoid I'm trying to read this in his voice. Fort Zuka is too valuable to fall into the hands of I can't do it. Fort Zuka is too valuable to fall into the hands of the necromancers. We can't let the undead make it away with those weapons and supplies. I guess that was okay. So whose idea was it to build walls that they could just tunnel underneath? Well, most enemies don't travel underground with an army of undead, do they, Lucan? Is she? Kiyoshi
This
looks
is
up. Is
this
she
is
going to
the
follow us to
casting
every
call.
battle? Kiyoshi raises an arm in defeat. Lucan turns around and to see what did I just say? To see Nika posed in a nearby tree. Nika! I saw the Necrolord inside the fort. He's using a staff to control the undead. If I can get in there and retrieve it, oh my god, he had the exact same plan as FOH. Exact same.
Yep.
Well, not really. The plan
I
in
would
FOH was terminate the staff, destroy it.
Hmm.
Lucan, they won't be able to control their army. And if you fail, what then? You won't just scare them off. We need to attack all at once without giving them time to flee. I don't take orders from you, Kiyoshi. Everyone takes
Ooh.
orders from Kiyoshi.
Nope.
Nika leaps off the tree onto a vine on the wall and scales up the edge. Before going over the top, she turns back and smiles at Lucan and disappears. I do not think she can take on the Necrolord alone. Lucan looks after where she disappeared when Kiyoshi grabs
I'm
him.
not gonna say anything.
I know it's sad. Your friend better not mess this up for us. Come on, to the front gate. Let's go. Everybody, let's go. Kiyoshi's forces move to the front gate, preparing to force their way in. Cut to the desert, city of Meridian. So we're going to Igneous now.
Oh.
There's so much action, it's insane. Season
Yeah.
2, in compared to season 1, is like
The
already
episodes are much
I'm hooked
longer.
already.
The episodes
Cut
are
to the
much
desert, the
longer,
city of
trust me.
Meridian.
So you might
Camera moves toward the
so like you
docks.
might want to do
It
only 2
shows
or
the
3
pier as
episodes
people
per
hop off of a
recording.
boat.
Yeah.
Each of them land
Because
on the
like
woods
they're
with
a
a
lot
small thump.
longer.
Suddenly, the heavy feet land with a much louder thump. The camera tilts up to reveal Igneous. He smiles and looks around, then walks off. My boy. Cuts to him walking through the city streets.
Yeah.
Everyone is looking at him suspiciously since he's a Magnerite in Sidonia. He's gonna get, like, shot at, probably. He approaches the doorway with some sign overhead overhead indicating the Fletcher and knocks on the inside as he entered. It's actually Yi.
Wait a second.
Aaron.
Has this really
Well,
been
look at
6
you.
months
Where'd they
later?
mine you up?
Yeah.
Does this mountain have a name? Igneous is a bit startled, but responds with the same. My name's Igneous. I'm here for Aaron. Aaron leans up against... I'm told I have a pretty good Igneous voice. Aaron leans against
Yeah,
the
you
wall
do.
and acts uninterested. Some people call me Aaron, others call me the Fletcher. Those who dislike me find other clever titles. Aaron looks back up to Igneous and asks him more comfortably, What do you want? Gallius sent me. He told me, Gallius is still alive. He must be older than the walls of time by now. But go on, why did Gallius send you all the way down here, huh? Igneous seems to be losing patience and speaks a bit more firmly. I need to get to Carfin. Oh, that's a good idea. You should also visit the Nether when you're done. What are you trying to do? Get yourself killed? Aaron goes and sits down at a table. Even if I
I don't think the
wanted to
nether
hike
would affect
across
them much.
the endless dunes of Sidonia and somehow smuggle you into Carfin, I'm going to need a lot more than Gallius's words as compensation. I love doing it. I like this guy's. I like my voice for this guy a lot, even if it's probably not even the accurate voice. Igneous sets gold ingots on a table, which went with a small clang. Aaron looks up and smiles. Cut to the montage of Igneous and Aaron traveling across the deserts of Sidonia. Well, that was fast. Money can just buy anything. Heading north
Bruh.
towards Carfin, they stop through a town on their way. Cuts to the forest, Merlin flying above the trees. Is he a bird? The camera moves down into the forest. Abigail and Luna are walking through the wilderness. I appreciate the help, Luna, but I really wish you wouldn't show yourself. Luna makes some gesture with her wings. Subtle. How is that subtle? Good question. She makes another motion. You burned down a barn! Luna shakes her head and waves it off. Okay, fine. You burned down an empty barn. You still showed yourself clearly. Soon everybody's gonna know there's a dragon in the wild. Luna shakes her head again and then flies off a bit. People are gonna know. She pulls out the eye of the end, unsure of what it does. Suddenly a bird lands nearby. Abigail looks over at it when it suddenly speaks. I love it when a bird just speaks. Merlin, greetings.
That's actually
What's
such
his
a good
voice
voice.
like? Greetings. Abigail. Whoa. Abigail stumbles back. I beg your pardon, madam. Would you happen to be Abigail? Yeah, that's me. Are you a messenger bird? A messenger bird is such a crude term, madame. I am a highly certified communications emissary, not some squawk.
Sounds exhaustive.
This is so
Oh god.
amazing. I love this. Merlin shrieks as Luna leaps over and tries to playfully bite Merlin. I mean, I was a bit unsatisfied with how everybody died at the beginning, but like now this makes up for it because it's so good. Luna, behave
Oh,
yourself.
trust me, it gets worse.
Luna sits down and looks innocently over at Abigail. What is that beast? Her name is Luna. She won't eat you, I promise. Isn't that right? Luna nods as Merlin flies over to the pond and looks at his reflection, muttering, Yes, well, I do wish I had been properly warned of this before. Now you've gone and ruffled my feathers. I love this. Merlin composes himself and flies back towards Abigail, this time keeping his distance from Luna. However, I haven't got a moment to spare. Listen carefully, as my time is valuable, and thus I'm only saying this once. Camera backs up to out of earshot. The message cannot be heard. Great. Cuts back to Ataraxia. Sen is upright in bed, looking at his song. Slight hum emanates from the song. Gallius comes into the room, and Sen quickly hides it. Come, Sen. Walk with me. Peaceful, quiet music plays as Gallius and Sen are walking through Ataraxia at night as the breeze blows lightly and the crickets chirp. Sen, I have not been entirely forthcoming with you. I have let my feelings cloud my judgment and thus hindered your training. For that, I apologize. Gallius, you have nothing to apologize for. I've learned so much from you. Gallius smiles.
That's a
I
good
just did
sign.
it. I know. I was really proud of that actually. Gallius smiles at the compliment as they walk out into a small park area with a stream. It has always been my privilege and joy to teach others what I know, but I am afraid that our training may be coming to an end. How do you mean? I have not used a song in nearly 200 years. I cannot and
Oh, so
will
he
not
has used
train you
one.
to wield yours. Gallius pulls out a song, the same song that had been sitting on his shelf since Sen first arrived in Ataraxia. This is the only one I
Story.
have left. I gave all the others away. Why? Because we do not need them. Songs give us power, but they also take from us in return. In most ways we do not see. Show me your song. Zen hesitates, then pulls out his song and holds it up. Gallius continues holding and both glowing songs can be seen clearly in the dark night lighting. A Protisium song. I figured Phallius would have given you such. The song will protect you in some way. But you must also remember it is not infallible. It will not always save you. You cannot let it control you. Gallius puts the song away, and Sen does likewise. If you are not to train me with my song, then who will? I have called upon a former student of mine. On the third sunrise from now, you will journey to the shrine above Ataraxia and meet your new instructor.
I'm
Camera
gonna say
zooms.
this, okay?
Are we still on
I'm
episode
actually gonna
1?
say this. Yeah. Yeah, we're still on episode 1, but I'm gonna say
Same.
this. The character, like the new instructor, if season 2 were to happen, I would have auditioned for this character,
Oh my
the new
god,
instructor.
I wish you were in
Ooh.
Songs of War. I wish I would. I also
Oh,
I should have auditioned for Merlin.
Oh god. No, Merlin already has a voice
Oh,
actor.
that's a shame. I was going to audition for him. Camera
There's
turns
like a
up
bunch of
towards the
other
moon, which
characters too,
fades
but like
back
I would have
to a sun over
auditioned.
Flora. Back inside Fort Zuka, Nico drops down and assassinates a few undead and necromancers. That's like
Savage Nika.
that's savage. That's savage, good girl moment right there. She spots the Necrolord heading towards the forge. She sneaks towards it and peers in. She steps inside, but no one is there. She turns around and Necrolord is standing in the doorway, a few undead surrounding. Nika gasps and jumps back, weapon at the ready. I knew this was gonna go wrong. Gasp.
Yeah,
Necrolord
definitely.
speaks as he walks towards. Okay, so he can speak. The
Huh.
Necrolord speaks as he
Oh
walks
boy.
towards her, head down an angle and stroking his staff. You must be Nika. I cannot. That's a terrible voice.
Oh
I
my
hate that.
word.
You must be. I can't. Someone do his voice. I'm trying.
Well, yes, his voice is actually normal. It's not like
You must
low
be
and like in the
Nika.
gutter, but
I've been looking
his
forward to this opportunity for a very long time now. Necrolord rolls a witherhead into the room, which explodes and clouds Nika in a mysterious black smoke.
Oh
She tries to
boy.
brush it off as she panics. Panicking, Necrolord puts up a staff. Just relax, my dear, and look into my eyes.
Uh-oh.
Nika looks up and the camera
Uh-oh.
slowly
Uh-oh.
focuses on the witherhead as everything else fades out. An eerie drone rises and cuts out and the screen turns black. To be continued. Okay, finally we're on season 2, episode 2. Opens at
Yep.
Ataraxia. It is morning. Sen climbs up onto the shrine island and finally looks around. No one is there. Sen. Hello, I'm here for my training. Sen walks to the middle of the shrine and waits for a second, when suddenly something flies over his head and causes him to duck. And Ardonia is flying with wings of light encircling the shrine. I think I heard
It's
rumors
a
of this
mobilium
character.
song.
I think I
I
actually
want to
heard
voice
rumors
this
of
character.
these mobilium wings, but
Yep.
the
Oh,
character
mobility
banks
wings.
hard
Yeah.
and lands softly in front of Sen. Character's wings fade, and away as she looks up, revealing Val,
Should
a
I do
female
this
Ardonia roughly the same
character?
age as Sen.
Val.
Should I
That's
voice this
awesome.
character?
Do it.
Sure.
Do it.
Good morning, Sen. Nice to meet you. I'm Val Mendoris, your new instructor.
Sen is both surprised at having seen Ardoni fly, as well as surprised at his mentor as a young female. Hi, good morning, Kai Val. Sen does a slight bow awkwardly.
There's no need for formalities. Just call me Val.
She walks towards Sen and begins circling him, slowly inspecting him.
Not what you expected? Thought you'd be bossed around by another old man? Trust me, things are going to be much more fun now.
I think I hate to you can easily interpret that in a way you don't want to. I'm not gonna elaborate. Val continues walking around Sen.
I can see Gallius has been training you well. The first thing you know to know about songs is that you must be fit both physically as well as mentally, as they will draw from all forms of your strength.
Val finishes circling and motions to the song shrine.
Step
Shrine?
up onto the shrine. Step on up into the
Sen
shrine.
walks into the shrine and draws his song.
Do you know why there are 4 pillars?
One for each order of songs. Proticium, Aggressium, Mobilium, and Saporium. As he says this, the camera shows the runic symbol on each pillar for each order of song.
Good. You've done your reading. That means we'll be able to skip the boring stuff. Go ahead and put your song in the Proticium pillar.
Sen does so as Val continues talking.
Each Ardoni can only wield a total of 4 songs, one of each order, so you must choose your set wisely.
Unless you have a prime song.
Exactly. A prime song contains all the songs within that order. Wield all 4 primes and you will have every song in existence.
There is a brief pause to let this sink in, as this is the first time the power of the prime songs is really put into perspective.
Stand in the middle of the shrine.
Sen does so and waits. Now what?
Listen.
Sen waits as the music fades away. Suddenly a faint noise can be heard. Sen closes his eyes and focuses in on his song. The song starts getting louder. His arm races towards it slowly. And the song turns to energy and surrounds him and fuses with his body. Oh my god, it's kind of like FOH. His Ardoni markings shine brightly, and he opens his eyes back up as things begin ringing, and he collapses as everything blurs out. Sen gets up and sees he's back in the blacksmith. He goes out to find Gallius working. What happened? You passed out. Fear not, it happens to all of us the first time. If you think that was bad, just wait until you summon your song for the first time. Single chuckle. Where's Val? She is fine. She went back to her quarters. You two will resume training tomorrow if you have properly recovered, of course. Zen waits and thinks about the song some more. Was the Death Singer the best of the songs? Gallia stops and looks up. Ingressus Voltaris was one of the best, yes. When the Ardoni were asked to use the Prime songs during the last Nether invasion, they held a tournament to determine a champion. They tested for strength, endurance, and ingenuity. But do you know what they should have been looking for? What? Someone who should use them. Zen looks confused, not entirely sure what Gallius meant by that. Suddenly something large flies into the room and kills them both. No, I'm just kidding. And lands around the corner out of sight. Some objects fall to the floor with a clang. There is silence as they both stare, wondering what happened. Suddenly Luna walks into the room, into the view. What the heck?
Oh.
Why? And Zen looks a bit scared, yet Gallius is more curious. So the rumors are true. Gallius goes over to the dragon. A voice calls out from the doorway. Be careful, she bites. Wait, Sen has met her before. In Season 1, Episode 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Gallius looks up and
I
sees
don't know if he
Abigail.
remembers her, though.
I'm glad you received my message, Abigail. Welcome. My name is Gallius Sendars. How do you know my name? Gallius turns towards Sen. Sen, finish your work in the forge. Abigail and I have much to discuss. Abigail turns towards Sen and their eyes meet. She smiles first, recognizing Sen, and he smiles and nods back.
Oh, she recognized him.
She
Okay.
do recognize him. Cut to the lower level, Gallius and Abigail are leaning on a railing overlooking Ataraxia. Luna is flying around the open air of Ataraxia playfully. It was no real challenge locating you. Collecting information and knowledge is a specialty of mine, after all. First, a dragon egg went missing, then reports indicating one hatched, and I simply followed the trail of things being set on fire. Thank you, Luna. Gallius somehow enunciates these last words as if it's somehow somewhat funny, which it is. Scene shows hints of things like the Ephyria horse rider, the bird watching the dragon egg hatch, and the aftermath of the barn on fire to prove how you found her. Abigail looks at Luna, who's standing on a nearby floating rock. Yeah, she has a bad habit of that. I don't even want to know what it'll be like when she learns to breathe fire of her own. So you have spent the last half hour hunting down the Unyielding Legion. Sorry, half year.
Hour?
Half hour.
Oh,
Half year.
God.
Noble, I suppose, but not driven by a desire to save the innocent or help the poor. I imagine you have a personal vengeance against them. Abigail looks away, somewhat shamefully, as she considers that he may be correct. You are destined for so much more, Abigail. You have known it the moment you found Luna's egg. How would you like to fight your real enemy? Luna flies down and lands in the opening. She nods her head in excitement. I mean, we have unfinished business with the Legion. Luna nudges Abigail, but you're right. I have been wondering about my place in all this. I just don't know where to start. So, how much do you know about the Ender Knights? Very little, I'm afraid. I know they used to rule Ardonia, but there haven't been any for over 100 years. Should you read Abigail? I'm not a girl. Who wants to read Abigail?
Yeah.
Infant?
We can. Infant, do you want to do it?
Okay. Yeah, Infant, do it.
Okay.
Nobody is born an Ender Knight. Every so often a human is chosen. So they are humans? What?
They're
How?
chosen.
They're not, they come from the ends,
Some
but
are
they're not, but they're humans?
Some
No,
are
they're chosen.
Okay.
They don't come from the end.
Okay, well, pretty much TDH is just gonna use the AV rule to
Big brain.
I'm just gonna use alternate universe rule and mess with that. I'm not going to change my plans.
Big brain. It's technically already alternate universe.
Yeah, it is. Nobody is born an Ender Knight. Ever so often a human is chosen. I actually want to look more into this and then decide if I want to change it or not. Gallius looks towards Luna. Abigail looks a bit confused. Luna hops back off and glides away. What does this mean? I am not sure, but one thing intrigues me the most. Never in history has a female Ender Knight been chosen. Abigail looks over at Ataraxia, a bit surprised. She asks Gallius for advice. Okay, Infant, read her.
All this happened very surprising to me. One day I'm working on the farm. Now I'm part of an ancient order of dragon knights.
That's a great Abigail voice, actually.
That's
every time the Ender Knights... A crashing is heard. They turn and see Sen drop some tools because he was trying to carry too many. Gallius continues. Every time the Ender Knights return... Sen drops more tools, interrupting him again. Every time the Ender Knights return... I'm joking. It only happened once. Every time the Ender Knights return, they have done so in numbers, and therefore one must be Ender King. But now we have the opportunity for something new, an Ender Queen.
Oh gosh.
Rainimator moment.
Big gamer moment.
She
God.
doesn't even react to that at all.
Frown
They're
slightly.
like,
Oh,
he's
she's
like,
just like,
you could
Oh
be
god,
the
I'm
Ender
about
Queen.
to
He's like,
become
you
the
could be
new
the Ender
queen.
Queen. She's like, okay.
Okay. Oh my goodness. What page are we on right now? 149.
151.
There's like
151.
464 pages. Wait, no, I'm on 149. Sorry, no, I'm on 150. Okay.
151. Big brain.
What?
How are you? Oh, it's because I'm on the Word document and you're on Google Docs. It must have different page lengths.
Mm.
Just really slightly different. Okay,
Okay.
next Abigail line. Say it.
Abigail frowns. Okay. If there are other Ender Knights, how can I find them?
I assume you recovered an Eye of the End from the recent unyielding legion smugglers. Abigail draws the end of the eye. The end of the
Stop.
eye! I do not think that is right. It will guide you. I will also give you a weapon from my armory to replace that stone sword of yours. Thank you, Gallius. I don't know how I can repay. Oh, why?
Yeah.
Infin, you do that. I messed up.
Thank you, Gallius. I don't know how I can repay you for such gifts.
Gallius pauses for a moment. Whenever the Ender Knights rise, the Nether always follows. If that happens, you can repay me by fighting with us against the Nether. As for your armor, there is only one blacksmith in all of Ardonia who can create obsidian armor. You must venture to the End
Ooh.
Realm, Abigail, and reclaim the armor of the Ender Knights. There you will become the Ender Queen. Cuts to Fort Zuka,
Why?
Kyoshi, Luke, and other thousand troops through the front gate.
Whack.
Fan out! Look for
I
tunnel
wanna know
breaches!
why.
They spread out for the city. Lucan is looking around for Nika. Lucan walks into a space between buildings and circles around. The camera tilts up, revealing Nika on the ledge as she drops down.
This is bad. This is very
Lucan
bad.
turns and sees her, but immediately realizes something was wrong. Her eyes are dilated and there is a wither effect emanating from her. She's probably under mind control,
Oh
right?
boy.
Yep.
Worried. Nika? She tilts her head sideways in a creepy manner the same way the Necrolord does. She abruptly pulls out her sword and charges towards Lucan. Come on, Kyoshi, my boy, back him up. Oh, Lucan quickly puts up his sword in defense and blocks Nika's attacks, not wanting to hurt her. He gets beaten and thrown back. Oh, great. Okay,
No.
I mean, like, Nika's probably more skilled than Lucan, by far.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thrown to the ground. Ah!
Other.
Nika turns her sword downward and jumps towards Lucan, preparing to stab it down into him. In midair, a figure intercepts Nika and knocks her away. Lucan goes aside to see who it was. Yes! Kyoshi, my boy! Kyoshi quickly gets up and draws his halberd against Nika, standing between her, Lucan and Nika defensively. I feel like there's no way Kyoshi and Lucan would both lose. Like, they
Yeah,
could
there's
easily
no way.
take her on.
No.
They fight
I
unless the
believe
wither magic is like enhancing her. They fight briefly, but Kyoshi clearly outmatches her. Yeah, definitely. And she retreats away. Kyoshi stands his ground and then turns towards Lucan. Is she always like that? All this dialogue. Never. Well, sometimes, but this is different. I love this. Lucan stares down the tunnel she had disappeared down. Cuts to an overview of Fort Zuka, showing off the resulting condition it's in. A few tents are set up inside. Cuts to inside the tent. Kyoshi is debriefing the battle. He carries an air of frustration but remains calm. Another defeat. First Riverstead, now Fort Zuka. Kyoshi points to the map on the table.
6 months.
They're advancing north toward the capital, Flora. Their next attack will be on Ferndale. Fortunately, their movements are slower underground, which gives us time to prepare. Wait, we're not going down after them? The tunnels are their territory. Down there, we're outnumbered and we'd be blind in the dark. Well, not with your enhanced vision, Kyoshi. But they have Nika down there. We have to... And Ferndale is full of civilians. Our priority is to get there first and evacuate them as quickly as possible. Lucan backs down. I've also received a message from Northwind. They're sending a chronicler down to join us. Yes, a scholar.
Fun fact,
That's
I
like
also
sending
would've
Hawking to
auditioned-
assist in the war.
Yeah. I also would have.
It would not be
auditioned
helpful. It
for
would
the
be something, but it would
chronicler.
not be very helpful.
I also would have auditioned for the chronicler.
If
so
this was
that's fine.
FOH, it would have said, I have also received a message from Northland. They're sending General Cassian down to join us. And that would have been a lot more helpful. Everyone looks
Big
around,
brain.
a bit surprised at the gravity of the situation, as
you're
chroniclers usually signify something very significant is happening. Some murmurs and whispering fills the room. Alec, my boy, my other boy. If Northwind is sending a chronicler, then the situation is as serious as it gets. Our War of the Necromancers may be Our War of the Necromancers may well be written on the next wall of time. Kyoshi turns to Lucan. Lucan, since you have no real military training, I'm assigning you to watch after the chronicler. She's a Felina female, just the sort of tale you like to chase. That's a sick roast.
Savage.
I love
Oh,
this
man.
guy. Lucan jumps across the table at this instant and grabs Kyoshi.
I'm dying.
Oh my god! This escalated so quickly. The guards pull Lucan off Kyoshi. And I thought that Lucan was, like, aggressive and FOH. Kyoshi, let him go. Sorry, no. I messed up the voice that time. That was more of a Lucan voice. Let him go. The guards release Lucan, but he still looks furious. Kyoshi motions to the guards to stand back. Kyoshi, if you want to fight me, it should at least be fair. No, don't fight him. What are you doing? You should be fighting the necromancers.
Don't fight. What are you doing?
Lucan throws the first punch. Kyoshi
Oh,
blocks,
gosh.
but Lucan quickly follows with an undercut and hits Kyoshi in the chest. Why would... I refuse to believe that Lucan can actually deal a blow on this guy. Punch in
No,
the
he
chest.
can.
Same street rat as always. Kyoshi attacks back.
Oh, gosh.
Lucan blocks, but Kyoshi jumps up and gets his leg over Lucan's shoulder and pulls him down into the ground, pinning him. Ah! Don't forget your place, Lucan. Kyoshi gets off Lucan. Lucan remains down, breathing heavily. Not super heavily, just enough after a quick fight. Breathing heavily. Kyoshi walks towards his soldiers. I'm traveling to the other kingdoms and requesting reinforcements. I'll return as soon as I'm able. He stops and looks down at Lucan, then to Alec. And take him to a doctor. See to it that he's cared for and in better shape to receive the chronicler when she arrives. So at least he does care about him, obviously. Yes, sir. Lucan is still on the ground. He closes his eyes. Cut to Ataraxium. Sen and Val are standing in the training grounds. Sen is attempting to activate his song. Val is watching.
Keep going, Sen. You've almost got it.
Energy shield begins forming around Sen before vanishing. Excited and proud. Ha, did you see that?
It looked like some sort of energy shield.
Do you have any other songs beside your wings?
I have an Aggressium song, but Gallius doesn't want us to use them during training. However, Gallius is...
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
However, Gallius isn't watching. Come here. You can wield most songs with your body alone, but with Aggressium songs, you're able to channel their energy through a staff or some other weapon. I don't have one on me, so...
Val fires her Aggressium song, which flies around lazily and curves downward and hits the side of the blacksmith. Oh, why? Val!
What?
Great. You just,
I
like...
like the visual.
Val's and Sen's eyes are wide. Now would be a good time to go. I messed up and said her line.
God. Now would be a good time to go. Come on.
Val and Sen start running and leap off their island down to a nearby one and land hard with a tumble. Grunt as you land roughly. Is it speaking to, like, the voice actor?
Yeah.
You must be referring to the voice actor. I'm just really confused.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, that went well.
Hey, it could have gone a lot worse. Gallius hates songs, especially Aggressium.
Well, for good reason.
Yeah, obviously. It just, like, hit the side of his shop. He told me he no longer uses songs, but he hasn't told me why.
Much about Gallius remains a mystery. All I know is that at one time, he used to train Ardoni to wield songs. Okay.
As Val is talking, it fades to a shot of Gallius looking out over Ataraxium walking around the blacksmith solemnly.
Around the time of the Great War, I believe many of his students, some of his brothers, were killed. He blames the songs for their deaths. He blames the prime songs for the war.
What do you think?
I think there's more to the story. After training me, I was sent back to Mendoria to learn the songs.
Is she a
I think
Mendoris?
he knew the war was coming. Yeah, she's a Mendoris. Big brain. Wait, I can send like a image. I think there's like a... Give me a second.
Just continue reading.
I can keep reading. But now the Voltaris have already returned, and the war has begun. The time for training is over.
You're right. My family was killed by the Voltaris, and I've done nothing to avenge them.
Okay, I'll just continue. That's not entirely true. You've learned much that will help you in a fight. Perhaps it's time to go join the real battle.
Sen thinks about this as they continue looking over Ataraxium as the sun sets. between the floating mountains.
This
Cuts
is
back to the desert. Igneous and
but what I
Aaron are
just sent.
standing on a sand dune overlooking the Carfin Wall. That
Yeah,
there's
but
the
like what I
Carfin
just
Wall.
sent
If you
is
want to go in
oh
there, you must be
oh
dumber than a chef who sells mushroom soup. Only it ain't mushroom soup because they didn't put shroom in the soup, and then they sell it to you hoping you won't notice. Igneous raises an eyebrow, confused at the oddly specific example. It sounds like something he would say,
yeah.
though. That's kind of hypocritical. So why did you want to go in there? Regains focus. My reasons are my own. How do we pass through? We don't. The wall was made as a message telling people like yourself to stay out. What Coffin doesn't want you to know is that they don't have the defenses to watch the entire border. Head west along the mountains, you'll find the pass. Thank you, Aaron. Good luck, Igneous. You're the bravest Magnemite fool I've ever met. May we meet again. Aaron's dialogue. I love so much of this. If this was
And
animated, it would have been so great. But
it
I
goes
can
to
at least
season 2
picture it. I can
episode
at least
3.
picture it. Aaron walks off into the desert winds alone. Cuts to
It's
Igneous
just like
passing over
more
the
stuff
Carfin
than
Mountains.
in
He makes it
episode
into
3.
Carfin, places bare stone as far as the eye can see. A nearby Magnemite guard walks out of Mount Kael, the nearest city. The guard looks towards where Igneous was and begins moving towards him suspensefully. When the
Oh
Magnerites are
god.
gourds. Someone make this a meme. When the guard looks behind the rock, Igneous is gone. Cuts to Igneous traveling the bare flats of Carfin. Cuts to a stone ravine. Igneous is walking along the bottom. There are a few more Magnerites around. He walks toward a large doorway in the cliff and passes through. He stops inside to reveal the Great Hall of Tartarus, capital of Carfin. To be continued. Alright, we're on episode 3. I think if I speed read, I could get to episode 5. Who's
You can
John?
just
I think
Begins at
3
night
is
in the
a
middle of
good place
attack
to
on a
start.
farm. Zombies and skeletons are coming out of the woods. The farmers are defending themselves. John, the eldest brother, rushes into frame. He's holding a sword and immediately starts attacking the zombies, killing 2 before Denny rushes out of the barn behind him, holding a bundle of hay. John calls to him, still facing the horde. Denny, go fetch Rusty. Hurry. Denny looks up from the horde to John. He drops the hay and starts running, but he sees a zombie and stops. Ah! A hoe is resting next to him against the barn wall. He grabs it and struggles with it for a moment. When he looks up, John has already killed the zombie. Then he gives up and runs to the small barn. Poor Denny. And the scene cuts to more fighting by John and the rest of the farmers. Denny reaches the barn and struggles to open it. It won't budge, so instead he decides to knock. Rusty, we need your help. Door. Oh, it's an iron golem.
Yeah,
Yo.
Iron Golem, nice.
The door opens quickly and with a loud creak, hitting Denny and knocking him down. Rusty, the iron golem, emerges and looks around. He sees Denny and picks him up before charging into the fray. There is some more fighting with Rusty getting a little beat up, and Denny stays on the sideline, occasionally throwing rocks at the zombies. A roar is heard, and the farmers got worried. Some undead stop and turn. Luna suddenly swoops out of the darkness and begins attacking some of the undead. Boom, 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 boom. She attempts to burn a zombie again, but more sparks come out. She instead just smacks the zombie away. Tail smack. Like what the Guardian did to Alex in Ocean Monument. The undead retreat at this point, and John approaches. Never in all my years did I dream I'd live to see a dragon. Luna and Abigail turn away from the retreating undead to face John. We're grateful for your coming, ma'am, but I must ask, what brings you to our humble farm?
I'm
Infant
searching
reader
for
line.
the next Ender Knight, and it seems I found him. Your fight against the undead was impressive.
Me, an Ender Knight? No, I can't. I'm just a farmer. What makes you so sure?
Abigail Ender Knight. Because of this, it brought me to... Wait, hang on.
Oh, it's Denny, not John. I kind of saw that coming a little bit. As Abigail releases the eye, it drifts over towards Denny. He's confused by it and tries to pat it away, but keeps returning to being near him. He notices Abigail and John both looking at him. What?
I guess you're the Ender Knight.
Denny hops up, shocked. What? What? John says the exact same line. Rusty seems surprised and his metal squeaks.
The Ender Eye has led me to you.
But I thought the Ender Knights vanished 100 years ago.
They've returned, and I'm seeking them out. My name is Abigail.
I'm Denny Pinkelson.
This is the Pinkelson farm.
The Pinkelson farm! It was on the map!
Yeah, you guys remember?
The whole time! They shake. John looks towards Luna, who is close by now, and he reaches to pet her, but she keeps at her distance. This is a surprise, a pleasant surprise. My little brother, an Ender Knight. But I can't be. I'm not anything special. I'm just...
I understand how you're feeling. Not too long ago,
This was the fan-made trailer line. You put that in the trailer.
Not so long ago, I was on my... Yeah.
She was a farmer herself before setting out on this quest. Well, before you two go off and save the world, you should really stay the night to rest. I need to discuss this over with our parents. Imagine how confused they would be. Oh yes, please come in. I think a late night dessert is in order.
Well, I could certainly use a good night's sleep. Come on, Luna.
I'm enjoying this so far.
Oh, wait.
The
let
three
me
go
see.
into the
It gets
house,
better.
followed by Luna. Abigail grabs the
gets
eye out of
better.
where it's hovering. Cuts to Sen and Ataraxia, sitting upright in bed, holding a song before him. He suddenly stops all at once and has an
Wait,
idea, but looks almost
what?
sad about it. It then cuts to him picking up all his things, and he walks out of the blacksmith before being stopped by Gallius from behind. Do I not at least get a farewell? Gallius! Sen rolls around, tries to protest, but it stutters and quickly gives up. I don't know how to explain, and I don't think you'll understand. If you try to explain, I will try to understand.
I love this dude.
Gallius
I
keeps
appreciate
Gallius.
all your help, Gallius. You and Val have both taught me so much and asked for so little in return. But the Voltaris are out there. They're out there right now. They slaughtered my family and killed Fallius. That's... I kind of like that Sen voice I just did.
Yeah.
Sen looks down as he
Aw.
breaks off due to his
Sen
emotion.
boy.
It's useless to hide and
Mm.
wallow, so I'm going to fight. I'm going to join the Knights of Ardonia. Yo, boy.
Oh god.
And Hubris is still alive. Hubris...
Hubris.
Zulia should have listened to that guy. He would probably still be alive. I understand very well, Sen. I understand very well, Sen. This is just what my brother would have done. I would advise improving your skills first, but I will not stop you. Gallius is like such a good mentor that way. He's like open to all of Sen's choices. Gallius waits a moment. The Knights of Ardonia
Not
have a
smart
hideout
here.
northwest of here. Follow the mountain range. You will find the inlet. Thank you, Gallius, for everything you've done. Fallius would have been proud. Ha! Fallius would have chastised me for not joining you. However, I cannot let you go unharmed. Gallius pulls out a weapon.
Oh, he's
Sorry,
mad.
not unharmed, unarmed. You have the hands of a blacksmith, Sen. It is a beautiful sword, and it belongs with its maker. Gallius holds Sen's sword. Now be gone, before I change my mind about you leaving. Sen nods and leaves. As he's leaving, the music picks up. This is so epic. He gets timber.
Traveling montage.
Like, season 2 is probably, like, even better than season 1. That's not even... I haven't even read part of
it's way
season
better.
3 yet.
It's way better.
Sen
Hey,
nods and
you know-
leaves.
you know,
As
one
he's
thing
leaving,
that
the
my
music picks
sister-
up. Imagine if they did season 2 and season 3, and they just had 1 be the script. Inverted. As he's leaving, the music picks up.
Oh,
He
man.
gets timber and trots off back down the path away from Ataraxia. It shows Val standing on a nearby floating island, watching. She smiles and then flies off back to the center of Ataraxia. Cuts to the morning, Abigail and Denny are heading out from the farm. Denny says his goodbye to John. I think you should have this now. You'll be needing it more than myself. It's not the prettiest, but it's been in our family for generations. John hands Denny his sword, which is a bit damaged but still holding together. Denny takes it and can barely lift. Denny's gonna need a lot of training.
Yep.
Denny. Aw, John, are you sure? Absolutely. Now go on and be safe out there. Denny nods and says no more, and drags the sword behind him before pocketing it and approaching Abigail, who was waiting further ahead with Luna. Do they really trust her that much already?
Yeah.
Here, Abby, I made you some stew for the road. You mean this for me? Cooked it while you were asleep. Oh, Rusty! Denny and Abigail see Rusty ahead, intercepting them. Did you think I'd forget you? Rusty leans forward and gives Denny a rose. That's so wholesome. You take care of the family, all right, Rusty? I'm trying to read this in a little kid voice because I am imagining him very young.
That's so sweet.
Rusty nods and waves to them as they leave. So where are we going? Abigail pulls out the ender eye and releases it. It begins drifting along in front of them. To find more Oh, no. Sorry, Infin. Infin, your line.
To find more endermans, I suppose, wherever they may be.
Abigail sips the stew.
Denny, this is delicious.
Denny just smiles. They walk off down the path. Luna flies by overhead. The ender eye continues drifting ahead. Cuts to Tartarus. Igneous is walking into the great hall. He sees a giant stone stalagmite. That's a hard word to pronounce. Stalagmite in the center, full of diamonds and other precious minerals. Around him, Magnorites, humans, and even a few Felina walk. There are signs of poverty, unrest, and even propaganda relating to the Carfin-Sidonia conflict. Igneous goes to the edge of the hall and into a tavern. He sits down at an empty table and listens to the chatter of the tavern. He pulls out a book to blend in, but the nearby Magnorites just give him strange looks. Some commotion is heard. It sucks how, like, Igneous doesn't fit in outside of the Magnorite Society, but he also doesn't fit in with the Magnorite Society, so he's, like, just on his own. Borgin. All I'm saying is that things have gotten worse around here since we closed our borders. Morgan is walking backwards with a larger Magnemite approaching him. Malachi, there's actually a student in my
Oh, I
mom's
love this dude.
school
I
class.
love this dude.
Worse for you, it's not for us Magnerites who fight to stay on top. Morgan is backed up against the wall. I don't disagree with you, I'm just... Then keep your mouth shut. A smart Magnerite submits to those stronger than him. Ain't that right, boys? I think this one needs a reminder of who's in charge. Malachi and Morgan fight.
I will say this. Okay, wait, hold on. I will say this. When in the episode 7 live stream, when David was referring to like the Magnemite names having like a bunch of O's and G's to like make them sound big, David was referring to Malachi when he said like his name didn't have any O's or G's. So I'll say that. Like Malachi, that's the name.
Malachi and Morgan fight, but Malachi quickly overpowers Morgan and throws him across the table and onto the floor. If anyone wants to challenge me, come forward and show yourself, Igneous.
Oh gosh, don't do it.
Well, he walks around the room, glaring at everyone. No one responds. No? How about you? He punches a random Magnemite to make his point. Igneous stands up. Hey! Igneous!
Oh no!
Cuts outside. Igneous is thrown out the door and onto the ground. He stands up and dusts himself and sees Morgan. Morgan is walking along, and Igneous walks up beside him and matches his pace. Morgan finally whips around. Why are you following me? Oh, I just saw you fighting with that rather rude individual, and that individual is our leader, Malachi. Oh, well, it sounded like he wanted Carfin to reopen its borders a moment ago. I didn't say that. I'm glad Carfin broke away from the Union. Morgan pretends he's glad about this. But if you want to talk to someone who does want Carfin to reunite, go talk to Maxwell. He's one of the few on the council who has been fighting for our unity. Igneous. Excellent. What was that voice? I think my voice is cracked. Excellent. Thanks for your help. Would you like directions first? Oh, right. Cuts to Sen. He's approaching an inlet in the mountain where Gallia said the Knights of Ardonia would be. He dismounts Timber and walks through cautiously. Looking up and around. He gets to the end of the inlet and sees a dead end. He looks confused, realizing he may have been given the wrong location. He turns to leave, but stops. Camera tilts up and reveals an archer with a drawn bow. Sen stops and raises his arm as a sign of peace. He raises his voice slightly to be heard over the distance. I'm not here to fight. I'm looking for the Knights of Ardonia. A large Magnerite steps out from around the corner and approaches Sen. Onyx. That's a great Magnerite name. Mm-hmm. Fighting is what we do. Looks like you've come to the wrong place. Onyx walks up close to Sen and towers over him. What I meant was I'm not... Onyx. Why do your markings have no color? Are you some sort of spy? Bruh. Oh, because I'm not a spy. Onyx shoves Sen back to the step. Let's have a go right now and find out what you're made of. Hubris' voice appears. Oh, stand down, Onyx. They turn as Hubris and Storas walks towards them. I was only playing with him. Onyx pats down on the shoulder and retreats as Hubris walks up and stops.
I love how Hubris
the Ardonia without a clan comes at last. Surprise. Sen never told him his name, though. Sen didn't tell him his name.
Oh, he didn't, right.
Oh, yeah.
Hubris. I'm glad you decided to join us, Sen. No, wait, how did he know?
Wait, no, he did tell him his name. No, he did tell him his name.
Okay, he must have.
He did tell him his name. Yeah, it's like, I'm Sen.
Oh, yeah, he did. I'm glad you decided to join us, Sen. Although I am saddened to not see your Magnerite friend. Come on inside, and welcome to the Knights of Ardonia. Hubris pulls a concealed lever, and pistons open a doorway into the wall. Cuts to them inside right now. Onyx is walking behind Sen, glaring down at him the whole time. Hubris continues walking forward and introduces Onyx to it as an aside. That hulking giant behind you is Onyx. Onyx glares even more intensely. Just don't get in my way, and you'll be fine. Masani walks up from another entrance. This is Masani. She doesn't talk much, but she's an excellent archer. Exceptional archer. Is she an Ardoni or a human?
No, she's a human, I think.
This is Masani. She doesn't talk much, but she's an exceptional archer. No, I read that already. Masani remains stoic, but flips her hair slightly. And somewhere around here, we have someone who doesn't talk at all. Grim! Yes! Grim! Yes! Oh, yes!
I was waiting for your
Grim!
reaction.
I love Grim! He's in the Knights of Ardonia! Grim! I'm so happy. Yep. Attention demanding grunt. David. A moment. I love how David is the voice actor.
Yep.
They turn and see Grim waving happily. That's Grim, also known by many of his enemies as the Reaper. You'll get used to him. Grim nods, Sen turns his attention to the rest of the room, which is covered in maps, weapons, and other war assets. This is where we set up base. As you can see, we've been tracking Voltaris sightings and trying to pick up their trail. But enough about us, Onyx. You wanted to see what Sen is made of. Why don't you take him out back? About time. About time. You'll come along too, Grim. Cut to them walking out back. A small training area is hidden by trees near the mountain. So, do you have practice swords or something? Onyx walks to the center of the training field and stretches. Poof, we're not using swords. A real test of strength involves only the weapon you were born with. That seems a bit unfair, considering you're a Magnorite. Onyx charges Sen, despite his attempt to stop Onyx, is thrown to the ground. You're just gonna have to manage. Back to your feet. Onyx is smiling now, and Sen starts getting back up, but Onyx kicks him back down. Grim is a bit startled from the sidelines. Grim, startled grunt. Onyx. Oh my god, that was such a great Grim Please, someone, do the Grim grunts.
Okay, I'll do the Grim grunts.
Onyx starts walking around slowly as he waits for Sen to get back up. I'm not trying to hurt you, Sen. If you can't fight me, how will you fight the Voltaris? That's a good point. A blur appears and Onyx disappears as he is tackled. A large dark figure begins fighting Onyx and quickly throws him into the dirt. The figure turns towards Sen, revealing Grek. He's a large and dark figure with horns and a thick tail.
It's a Jagafin!
Oh, so he's what a Jagafin is.
Yeah.
I heard that there was a fight going on and I got a little excited and I thought I'd join you. I just imagine his voice being like that. That's a terrible voice. I'm just gonna read it in my regular voice. I stopped coming up with random voices.
Okay.
I can't wait until I get to say Merlin's voice again. I need more Merlin dialogue so I can do that. Grek walks towards Sen. He stands eyes wide at the sight of Grek. He's a new species never seen before in the series and stands even taller than Onyx was compared to Sen. Onyx gets back up and rushes to retaliate with Grek. Grek easily backsteps and holds Onyx in a headlock. He continues talking to Sen as if holding Onyx in a headlock is no big deal. So you're the new recruit? Grunt as he grabs Onyx in a headlock. Don't mind Onyx. He acts tougher than he is. Let go of me. What's your name, kid? Grek continues holding Onyx during the conversation as Onyx struggles around. It is clear that Grek is far superior to Onyx. Sen is a bit surprised. My name is Sen. Grek, ever seen a Jagafin before? I've never even heard of one. That's because there's only a few of us in all of Ardonia. Grek finally lets Onyx go and he falls to the floor with a thump. I'm Grek, short for Grekar. I'm a Class 2 Jagafin. Means I've lived, fought, and survived my first lifetime. What? What does that mean? Us Jags get a second life if we make good use of our first. Grek inspects Sen some more. So how many songs do you have? Just one, a defensive song. Let's see it. Sen looks around a bit worried, not knowing he's not ready to show it off yet. Now? You want to see it now? What do you say, Grim? This is great. Sen closes his eyes and prepares it. The song is heard, but only a spark of energy appears and fizzles out. See, I told you he's incapable. Suddenly, a small chunk of dirt hits Sen. Ow! If that was supposed to be a shield, it's not doing much good. Grek throws another chunk of dirt, which glances off Sen. Can you stop throwing dirt at me? Stop it yourself. Grek throws another dirt. Sen's song is heard, and a large sphere of energy appears around him, and he blocks the dirt. Sen looks very surprised. Grim just clapped. Grek walks back over to Sen. Good job. You can shield yourself against dirt. With a little work, you may one day stop an arrow. Welcome to the team. Grek smiles and pats Sen on the shoulder. Cuts to Kiyoshi using the beacons to enter Meridian. Oh, is he going to meet up with Igneous in the Necromancer War? Come on, guys. You gotta do it.
No.
With every defeat...
I'm not gonna say. Just keep reading.
I'm just quickly drinking some water because my throat is dry at this point from all of this.
Hassan and Casson.
Every defeat, the Necromancers grow in strength. We have to raise an army of our own before it's too late. Hassan
and Casson.
Casson? You forgot a syllable. Sidonia requires our forces to remain within the kingdom. Every day we're threatened by the possibility of a Carfin attack. Shut up! I'm sorry, but we cannot help you. What do you mean, a Carfin attack? That's a joke. Like, you think the Necromancers won't go after you right after they take over Felton, if they ever do. It cuts to Kiyoshi leaving the building using the built beacons of Oakendale. Cut inside as he talks to those leaders. If the necromancers defeated us at Ferndale, they will have a straight route straight to the capital of Felden. I said the word straight twice. Great.
Bruh.
Conquered official 1. Should we be worried? If Felden falls, they may gain access to the beacons, which would endanger us all. Kiyoshi becomes agitated at how the officials are only thinking about themselves.
Big brain.
And then those guys on the server were calling Kiyoshi the selfish one.
I know.
Then help us
No,
prevent
they're not.
that. We can send a supply of food to assist the war efforts. Oh my god! A supply of food. How much is that going to help? It's like saying that's like Britain and
Ohio
France
is a
saying,
big
"I'm
farming
sorry,
country.
Poland. I'm sorry that like your people are all getting slaughtered and you're getting invaded and ravaged by these guys. We'll send you some food."
We can send food.
Oh
Concord.
man.
I have mixed feelings
Officials
about
look
Concord
at each
now.
other. We can send a supply of. I already read that. Kiyoshi sighs. That's me. Cut to
Big
Kiyoshi
brain.
leaving the building and losing the beacon to Hailstone. Then Hyperia, showing him walk out of the buildings each time, paralleling how
Aw.
unsuccessful he is. My man! Why? Nobody's listening to him? Okay, using the beacon. It was using the beacons, not losing the beacons. I messed up. He walks the edge of Hyperia and looks out over the ocean. Someone walks up and stands beside him. Yujuki.
It's a
Yujuki?
girl.
The
Yeah.
kingdoms aren't united
Infant.
like they once. Oh no, Infant, do it.
Okay. The kingdoms aren't united like they once were.
Fancy seeing you here, Yujuki. Kiyoshi's signature line is his fancy seeing you here.
That literally his signature greeting.
Yeah.
Listen, Kiyoshi, the council
How
can say
to
what
start
they
talking to a girl. Hi, no. Fancy seeing you here. And insert girl name here. Yes.
want. Listen, Kiyoshi, the council can say what they want, but the military is still under my control. Oh, interesting.
What military? It's Kiyoshi who controls the Felden army.
It's the military of
Hailstone.
Hyperia.
Wait, or
Oh.
Hyperia, I don't know.
He's in Hyperia right now.
Timothy and
Yeah.
Milo, am I a joke to you?
No.
They control, like, in Deception and Flame of Hope, they basically control. Well, they don't control the military, but they have influence in the city.
Big brain.
Is there anything you can do to help?
Perhaps. I've heard that the old Ardoni clan, the Voltaris, are making a return. What threat do you think those necromancers pose compared to the Voltaris?
To Felden, necromancers are a much bigger threat. I'm just saying. I've heard the
Big
same
brain.
rumors, but they're nothing more. The necromancers are attacking now and killing our people. If they continue to advance, they will amass an army of undead and overpower all of the kingdoms combined. The Voltaris, Carfin, they're just distractions. I mean, like, to Felden, yes, the necromancers are definitely a much bigger threat. But, like, Voltaris are also probably a threat elsewhere to the Ardoni clans.
I can send a few of my elite troops and
Yes,
anyone else has
Yujuki.
to know. Make sure Felden doesn't fall, Captain.
Yes,
She
Yujuki.
leaves behind. Kyoshi has a pained look on his face. The pressure of his situation builds. Oh man, my boy. Back at the Knights of Verdonia, Grek, Grim, Onyx, and Sen sit around a small fire. Masani is further off to the side, being reclusive. So there I was, wandering alone through the Shrouded Islands, when suddenly a pack of marauders found me. Out there, behind Ardonia, there are no laws or protection against violence. I was forced to fight all 20 of them. Onyx interrupts. Last time you said 10, Grek. There was a lot, okay? I didn't exactly have time to count. Anyway, they thought I'd be an easy catch. Last mistake they'd ever made. Once I killed their leader, the rest fled. And the rest fled, and I looted a grand trophy I present to you. Soul Seeker. Grek draws his large double-bladed sword and twirls it around a bit. Hey, you can't do that. Alumis Sendaris is the only double sword wielder here. Twin diamond blades, title engraved along the handle, 3 meters long. I'm not sure where it came from, but I guarantee it wasn't forged by marauders. Whatever best wielded on this was even larger than myself. Check it out. Greg tosses it to Sen, who catches it with an umph, as it is extremely heavy. Like umph as you catch the heavy sword. Sen inspects Soulseeker. It's incredible. I love it just says attention demanding grunt. Sen looks up to see Grim, who's eagerly holding out his enchanted scythe. Oh, right. I'm kind of reading his voice in, like, the TF2 soldier voice, now that I think about it. Greg takes Grim's voice and tosses it to Sen, who catches it as well, and is now overwhelmed with more weapons than he can carry. Grim picked that weapon up at Etheria, or so we think. He loves that thing. Grim nods vigorously. Onyx has been sitting with his arms crossed the whole time and finally shifts himself into a different sitting position. Yeah, big stinky. Sorry, bad voice. Yeah, big stinky weapons. I can get the job done with my bare hands. React used to this kind of talk seems to ignore the comment and turns to where Masani is fletching arrow to the side. And maybe Masani will show you her bow if you ask nicely. Masani looks up with a dull
Masani is
expression.
literally me. I'm
Didn't
just like,
think so.
nope.
Anyway, show us what you got, Sen. Sen carefully sets the valuable weapon down beside it. Well, my sword doesn't have any
Hey,
history
hold
yet.
on.
It's not diamond or enchanted, but I made it myself during my stay in Ataraxia. Sen pulls out his sword. Onyx eyes curiously. Hey, that's not half bad. Hand it here. Wrong voice. Hey, that's not half bad. Hand it
I
here.
really want to see Sen's sword.
Sen hands his sword to Onyx hesitantly. Even though most Magnarites don't use weapons, we're renowned for our skills at forging them. This is a pretty good sword. Hubris hurries into the room. He has a serious look on his face. Grab your things, everyone. Sen, you're coming too. We leave at once. What's the hurry?
Oh,
We
I
were
love
having
this part.
fun. A group of Voltaris have been spotted moving towards the
Oh,
vault.
I'm not gonna
And
say
they are
anything.
not
I'm
alone.
not gonna say anything.
They're not alone? Who's with them? It's Yi. It's Yi, obviously. We all know the truth.
Yeah.
Hubris waits a moment as the
Oh
suspense
gosh.
builds. The Death Singer is with them. The Death Singer
Oh
is with
boy.
them.
Ooh,
Everyone
I
in the
love
room
this
stops
next
what they're
part.
doing and looks towards Hubris worriedly. The music is suspenseful. How's that even possible? I'm not sure, but I am to find out. We're here to show the world that the Knights of Ardonia don't fear the Death Singer himself.
Hubris
Why do I
is
feel
such
like
an
Hubris
idiot.
is going to die at
Hubris.
is he gonna die?
Hubris.
Probably.
This is why you're
Come on,
called
Hubris.
This is
Come on. Well, no, actually, I'm not gonna say anything, but
yeah,
that's
don't.
the biggest plot twist yet. Yet.
Oh,
Cuts to them
Let's just
outside.
say
They're getting
this.
on
is what?
horses.
It's
Sen gets
coming
on
up.
timber. Grek is standing with his arms crossed. I don't care if they're faster. I'm not riding one of those four-legged creatures. Oh, stop complaining. Onyx is standing nearby watching who is going on foot because he's too heavy for a horse. If Onyx is going on
Of
foot,
course.
then I am too. Doesn't he have, like, wings? Or am I stupid?
No, he only has horns and a tail.
Oh, I am stupid. Onyx is too heavy for horses. Besides, as a Magnerite, he won't tire as quickly as yourself. Grek gives in and climbs onto the horse, groveling. You're fine. Hold still, you monster.
Oh
Greg awkwardly
dear.
climbs on top of a
Oh
horse. I love the
God.
dialogue. David said that the dialogue was like incomplete too. So like imagine how good it would have been if it was fully done.
Yeah.
He settles in and finds himself facing Grim on his horse, who makes a spinning around motion with his hand. Greg then realizes he's sitting backwards and awkwardly turns around. More mumbling and grumbling. Everyone is not prepared to leave. They look to Hubris for further instructions. The world does not believe there is imminent danger, and we are wrong to think so. Each of you pledge your support without asking for anything in return. Today we have a chance to show Ardonia that we are there to fight for. You can tell me the rest when we get there.
Good old
Onyx runs off.
hubris.
Hubris.
Your speech scared him off, Hubris. Grek rides off after Onyx. Masani and Grim
Agreed.
follow behind Grek a moment later. Sen and Hubris remain. Hubris looks dull and Sen looks over to him for orders. Whatever. Hubris rides off and Sen follows.
Oh,
Music
I
picks
love
up a
this
bit and
next
shows them all
part.
traveling through different environments. To be continued. And we're still only on episode 4. I think I'm gonna get. We're gonna read episode.
Do we need to keep? It's
I'm
gonna be
reading
quite a while
up
before
to
we get to episode 5. So.
I'm going to read up to episode. Actually, I'm gonna read up to episode 6. I'm gonna try that.
What?
But that's as far as I'm going because then
Renee's
we.
back.
Oh, yes, Snake is back. I noticed that. Opens with a shot of the vault. Nighttime.
And
It
right
is.
as
It's a large tower-like structure in the center of a giant pit with only one bridge, which contains a large supply of valuables, dangerous weapons, and other strange artifacts. It is guarded day and night. The camera moves down to the edge of the pit. The Knights of Ardonia are waiting behind his hill, stealthily. Hubris' markings glow dimly in the nightlight. Grek. Quiet. Hubris, turn your lights off.
hilarious.
I can't. How are you supposed to sneak around with lights all over your body? We don't normally go sneaking around. It seems to be a problem, Hubris. Hubris even tries to change the topic. Masani is further up the hill, so he speaks slightly louder to her. What can you see, Masani? Someone read Masani's line.
Nothing much.
Looks like we meet the
Okay.
Voltaris here. They better
He's
hurry,
got a
I'm ready
long
for a
ways to
fight.
ride.
Easy, Grek. Let's return to cover. Hubris and Grek back up away from their viewing position, while Masani remains. Onyx, Grim, and Sen are watching. The horses are a bit further off. What does a Death Stinger... wrong voice again. What does a Death Stinger want from the vault, anyway? What do you think? Sorry, wrong voice again. What do you think? I don't know. Diamonds? He's after the
if.
Prime songs. Everyone turns
What
towards
prime?
Sens. He's right. When Thalius distributed them, it's likely he hid at least one of them in the vault.
Hey, someone's coming.
They turn and arm themselves. There's a moment of
Oh,
tense silence as they
this
wait.
part, this
Masani
part,
finally
this part.
spots whoever
Yes,
approaches and
yes,
everyone
yes,
relaxes.
yes, 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 yes,
It's the
yes,
captain.
yes, this part.
Form up, everyone. The captain, I thought you were the leader. I was just
Oh.
maintaining order while she was away, so it's
Is
not
it Rhea?
Kiyoshi. Imagine if it was Zen is confused at learning that Hubris is not the leader of the Knights. So, who's in charge? A familiar voice calls out.
Yes.
No, Nemuri has to be Rhea. She has, like, a great Rhea voice. Why is it Rhea? Why is
He
it
was
her?
asking.
How is it her?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sen turns to see Rhea. He drops his sword. Rhea? Rhea's eyes are wide. Cuts back to Tartarus. Ignis is walking through the housing district, looking for Maxwell's house. He arrives at the door and knocks on it. A moment later, the door opens and Maxwell steps into the doorway. Can I help you, sir? Words from the... Oh, sorry. Wrong voice again. Word from the lava pool said you were fighting to reunite Carfin with the other kingdoms. Maxwell looked shocked. You here to harass me? Tell me how wrong I am? That humans have no say in the matter? Well, thank you, and goodbye. Maxwell begins closing the door, but Igneous leans inwards as the door closes against his head, which causes no discomfort in him being a Magnerite. Not at all, sir. I agree with you. That's why I'm here. I'd like to speak more about the issue if you have time to spare. After Maxwell attempted slamming the door against Igneous' solid head a few times, he stops and considers Igneous for a long moment before finally letting himself inside. Alright, fine, come in. Igneous goes and Maxwell shuts the door. I appreciate your honesty, but you need to exercise more caution with what you say in public. Can I get you something to drink? Yes, that would be lovely. Maxwell hands Igneous a bucket of lava. He drinks it down in 3 sips. Why is it so dangerous to speak freely? Isn't it obvious? Magnerites tend to act a bit like sheep. No offense, they rather fit in with everyone else and stand apart. When Malachi rose to power and attacked Cydonia, everyone followed willingly. But why did Carfin attack? When did they become enemies? That sounded more like Sen than Igneous. Visuals showing clips in the story. Before this mess began, the kingdoms of Cydonia and Carfin used to engage in mutual trade. We would supply Cydonia with the crucial ores, and they'd supplied us with the much-needed food in exchange. As you've noticed, the land here doesn't lend itself to farming, but with no explanation or warning, they began increasing the prices. To compensate, the council began dedicating all available efforts to mining deeper and deeper, even as supplies became scarce. This was when Malachi rose to power. He conceived a plan to cease trade entirely and instead use our resources to make weapons and armor. Before Cydonia could prepare, Carfin marched south. They destroyed the land and salted the fields so they would never grow crops again. But you should know all this. Maxwell looks at Igneous. So where are you actually from? Igneous becomes honest with Maxwell. I was born somewhere in the northern regions, outside of the kingdoms. I wasn't raised around Magnerites, and thus never developed their more aggressive tendencies. Everywhere I've gone, people are worried that I'm some sort of dangerous radical. I want to change that, Maxwell. Maxwell smiles at Igneous' honesty. Deep breath. There's a tunnel currently being mined. The council is Maxwell a Magnerite too?
Yeah.
That's a really mundane. That's like a really human name for a Magnerite. Just like
I
Borgen.
I like it.
Borgen, Igneous,
Actually, I don't know,
Onyx, Malachi, Maxwell. My favorite.
Maxwell might be human. I don't know. I can never tell.
Deep breath. There's a tunnel currently being
He's
mined.
a council member.
The council has mandated only Magnerites are allowed to work in it due to the lava, but I believe it is about they know those Magnerites won't talk about what's really going on. Go on to the mines. There you may find the answers you seek. Plus, Igneous leaving. As she so there's more Felden stuff. As he leaves, the camera slides back to reveal a Magnerite watching suspiciously. The Magnerite hum hurries off camera.
Oh boy.
Cut to a montage of Abigail, Danny, and Luna traveling and recruiting more Enderites. Luna's getting larger. They stop in Twin Pass and recruit Trevor, an enchanter. He is surprised and takes his research, and his family lets him go. They stop in Armaria and recruit Saxon, a potion brewer. He is trying to hide his black market potions when they enter, but Abigail reassures him it's okay.
Or something?
Solomon's son. At one point, we see Abigail noticing some unyielding legion in a town, but she decides not to pursue them and instead keep going for Ender Knights. Yo, that's a gamer moment, resisting temptation.
Yes.
I wonder if Solomon will have any part to play in the story after season 1.
At some point, I think,
Back to Flora. Kiyoshi
Well,
beams in with a few Hydrophil troops. Cuts to him
Senena?
riding into
Jeez.
Ferndale while the Felden army is preparing for the next Necromancer attack.
I hate him from just seeing him in season 1. I'm sorry. I've always hated him.
The camera moves then as Kiyoshi rides past. Shot lingers and shows Nitsuki
It's
walking
the
up carrying
chronicler.
a pile of
Ah.
I would have
a
auditioned for this
pile of books
character as
in
well.
both hands. She looks around for Kiyoshi, unaware that it was him who had just passed. She approaches a random soldier who has turned away, working with some weapons. How old is Denny exactly?
He's
He's
got
a
to be
kid.
maybe a teen.
Okay, I
Yeah.
probably could.
Do
I
you want me
actually
to
could. I
voice
could have done
Nitsuki?
Denny actually.
Do you want me to
Excuse me,
voice
sir.
Nitsuki?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. Wait, do you want me to voice Nitsuki or?
Yes. Voice
Okay.
Nitsuki.
Excuse
I
me,
keep
sir.
thinking of
Where might I find
Natsuki from
Captain Kyoshi?
DDLC. The soldier waits for a moment,
Oh,
then turns around after realizing Nitsuki was talking to him. He gestures to the side where a building is.
thank you.
Nitsuki bows and the book
Oh,
slides off her sack as he turns to leave.
whoop, sorry. Oh,
Nitsuki, she backs up awkwardly and picks the book up, cuts to her entering the room in the nearest building.
good evening, sir. Are you Captain Kyoshi?
Camera shows the room. It's clearly a kitchen and with a single chef standing there cooking. He looks at Nitsuki, unamused. This is the kitchen. Try the barracks. Nice try. Nitsuki. Oh, so Kiyoshi does appear.
He's like, I've never been around a fort before.
Nitsuki walks back out of the room and looks around outside.
Right. Barracks. Where would those be?
The camera is spinning around, her showing the camp and people moving about. She is lost and overwhelmed. When the camera stops, we see Kiyoshi walking up to her side, who calls to her from distance. You must be the chronicler. I'm Kiyoshi, captain of the god. Nitsuki turns and
God.
sees him. He reaches out to shake her hand.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Nitsuki, chronicler of Northwit.
As Nitsuki goes to shake his hand, her books begin falling now that she is only holding them in one hand. This cuts off her sentence. She tries to pick up the books. Kiyoshi reaches down and picks one up and hands it to her. It looks like you came prepared. Do you normally use this many books?
Actually, I wasn't quite sure what to bring, so I brought everything. This is my first mission, after all.
Kiyoshi looks up with a disappointed face, knowing that having sent an amateur chronicler means Northwind isn't taking the situation seriously.
Big brain.
Well, I hope you and Lucan are getting along at least.
Who?
No!
Oh,
Lucan!
snap.
Why? He betrayed him! Kiyoshi got
What?
stabbed in the back. Not literally. If he did, I would cry. Alec and Kiyoshi looked at each other, expecting Nitsuki and Lucan to have already met. It cuts to Lucan dropping down into necromancer tunnels, dressed in the necromancer attire he got from season 1. He arrives at the gateway to a
Great.
temporary
He's
necromancer
going.
base.
Oh,
It's guarded
wow.
by zombies. Lucan pulls out his redder skeleton skull and with his sword scrapes the ground in circles like Exaria. I messed up. Zarya once did. He very skillfully subdues the zombies and enters the doorway.
Nice.
Nice.
Epic. Cuts back to Sen and Ria standing apart. They slowly and carefully walk back towards each other, neither believing the other is real. I thought you were dead.
I tried looking everywhere for you. When I heard Thalius was killed, I thought...
They both stop as they're face to face, staring into each other's eyes. I take it you two
God.
know each other? Huber stands beside Ria defensively. Ria looks away and tries to take everything in.
Yes, but that isn't important right now. We have to focus on the mission.
Ria turns away and takes a few steps away from Sen, who looks sad that she didn't have the same warmness with him that she used to. Ria's holding the same spear that Sen
God.
gave to her in season 1, but now it is enchanted.
Not. Ooh.
The guards at the vault wouldn't reveal whether or not they're holding a prime song. I was, however, able to warn them about the impending attack.
How much time do we have? Masani responds before Ria can answer.
They're already here.
They turn around and there's giant Hero Brian Derp.
No, stop. Stop.
Tense
No.
music cuts in suddenly.
You four, circle around from the right
Oh,
side.
I love
and hit
this
them
so
from
far.
behind.
Personally,
I'll
I
run
really
ahead and
love
halt their
this.
advance.
Infin, do you like
You
this?
four, oh.
Mm.
You four, circle around from the right side and hit them from behind. I'll run ahead and halt their advance. Masani, provide cover and keep an eye out for enemy reinforcements. Sen, wait here, don't move, and keep quiet. Let's move.
I wonder if Osivian lived. I don't think it's revealed yet. They all move off. Sen just waits with nothing to do, really.
I doubt he did, honestly.
Yeah, I doubt it, too. Cut to the far side. Voltaris are attacking some of the guards posts around the rim. Suddenly, the Voltaras turn and see Hubris, Grek, and Grim walking towards them. They prepare to fight when arrows start flying from the side and hitting them. Grek gets down on all fours and starts bounding forward quickly. He gets back up at the last second and pulls out his sword. Fight begins. Cuts back to Sen waiting with Masani, kicking his feet around idly. I don't understand. She knows I can fight just fine. Maybe
she's just trying to protect you.
Sen looks up, but Masani just shrugs and says no more. Fighting rages on for a bit, then Hubris looks down towards the vault. Wait, this group was just a distraction. An explosion occurs in the top of the vault. It erupts with energy. Everyone looks towards it, and the Death Singer stands on top, holding the first of the 4 Prime songs. No!
Clarify, he has the Saporium Prime.
Which one?
He has the Saporium Prime. It's the Saporium one.
Yes, my boy. Good job.
It's the Saporium one.
It's the Saporium Prime.
Yep.
There is a moment where time seems to slow, so Death Singer admires a Prime song, captivated by its beauty. Only muffled low tones can be heard. Sound comes back as it cuts back to Masani in a hurry.
They're already at the vault. Sen, we need Sen.
Masani turns and notices Sen is gone. Hubris walks up to her.
Sen, you need to voice Tigran.
Sen walks
my boy.
Sen walks up to Sen, and then Hubris walks up to Masani and says, Masani, Sen died in a car crash 5 years ago. You've been imagining him. Please wake up and forgive yourself. It's not your fault.
Boy.
Masani turns and notices Sen is gone. Cuts the bridge. Death Singer and Tigran are walking back around along the bridge towards the rim. I still hope that Tigran does not get sidelined. He was actually really cool. Even just because the Death Singer is here now. They stop. The camera slides back to reveal Rhea blocking the path, alone despite her saying not to engage alone. She strikes a defensive pose. The characters must raise their voices slightly as they stand many meters apart. Tigran!
Yes. Step aside, girl, or your fate will be the same as the rest.
He may mention Osivian if he died.
Too long have I hunted him to stand aside now.
Death Singer steps past Tigran and finally gets a good view for the viewer.
Do you know who I am? Oh god, I have to talk. Every Ardoni knows those cursed markings. Then you know what I have done to those who interfere with my plans. I commend your bravery, but there is no need to waste your life here. Let us go in peace, and we will allow the same. Peace was never an option, Death Singer. You murdered the Great Masters, ignited a war, and slaughtered my clan. From them, the Knights of Ardonia will fight.
Rhea grips her blade staff tighter.
I am sorry that this is the way you see things.
There's a very brief and silent moment as Rhea considers his words. Tigran steps in front of the Death Singer and fires his Aggressium song on before more can happen. Rhea takes a step back in shock, but notices not suddenly an energy shield appears around her and blocks the song. The shield holds powerfully for a moment, and Rhea turns to see Sen beside her.
You, I remember you. Yes. You cowered and fled as I killed Thalius Sendaris.
Sen now recognizes Tigran. Tigran, that sword doesn't belong to you.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's an A.
Right now.
It's an A.
Yeah. Then come and claim it, weakling.
Ooh, that's a low blow.
Roasted.
Not as good as Kyoshi's roast from like episode 2. Sen runs forward. Oh, I scrolled up by accident. Sen runs forward, but Tigran uses Phalius' sword, teleporting song, to cover the distance first, and surprises him. They fight a bit, but Tigran overpowers Sen. Am I really supposed to believe that Sen can hold his own against Tigran at all? Even after 6 months of training?
Maybe.
And Rhea steps in and fights Tigran. Rhea pushes Tigran back. Death Singer grows impatient and fights Rhea and quickly throws her down. You fight well for... Oh no, that's your line. Sorry, Nemuri.
You fight well for one so young, but you were foolish to challenge us. Perhaps your names will be written on the chronicles after you are gone.
Rhea grabs Sen and they both jump over the railing before a final one of Tigran's energy balls roars past. I pictured that part of Saving Sam's Tea where Sam and Amuletto were falling over the edge and with a giant explosion behind them. I kind of pictured that. They fall into the camera, cutting to black. To be continued. So I'm reading episode 5. That's the last one I'll be doing today.
Yeah.
Opens with Igneous arriving in the tunnel. It's a very long and straight tunnel extending as far as the eye can see into the distance. A mine track runs down it, which he follows. There are other Magnorites walking about. He gets to the end where the Magnorites are mostly mining and starts mining as well. Harry spots Borgin off to the side and goes over to him. Hey, it's you. Borgin looks up, confused. We met outside the tavern. My name's Igneous. Did I introduce myself before? I've never met you. Tries to get Igneous to leave him alone. Yeah, it was you, Borgin, right? You directed me to Maxwell. I've been trying to help. I'm Kerf and reunite. Borgin grabs Igneous and pins him against the wall and whisper shouts to him. What are you trying to do? Get me killed? You don't talk like that around here. I'm not from around here, but I came to help. Borgin releases Igneous slightly. Why do you want to help us? Because I'm a Magnerite like yourself, and what happens here affects us all. Morgan lets go of Igneous and thinks for a moment. You need to be more careful, Igneous. You're lucky I'm one of the few Magnerites who wants peace with Cydonia. It's hard to find others willing to stick their neck out and stand against the majority. Morgan stops talking as another Magnerite passes by. He lowers his voice. Listen, when our shift is over, follow me closely. I'll show you something. Igneous nods. Cut to the Magnerites returning back to the tunnel. At the end of the mine track, it turns into a side room. Morgan tugs at Igneous to follow him into that room. This way, quickly. They sneak into the room and hide behind some crates. Igneous crawls on top and looks at the center of the room where the mine track stops. There are piles of TNT filling the room. Oh my, that's a lot of TNT. Is this how you've been mining the tunnel? Borgin. This isn't a mining tunnel, Igneous. Igneous turns around incredulously. Borgin looks grim as he points at the troop behind the tunnel. So, what is it? It's heading south. Under Cydonia! What are you doing?
Oh God.
You're gonna blow up Cydonia?
Why?
Igneous finally frowns and
I
makes a
know.
connection. They're going to attack Cydonia from below. I lost my Igneous voice. They're going to attack Cydonia from below. People of Carfin are finally starting to want peace, and that threatens those in power. If they can reignite the war, they'll stay in power. Exactly, and judging from the distance of this tunnel, they're almost there. I have to tell Maxwell. He doesn't know about this. Be more careful this time, and do hurry. Shows all the TNT again and let it sink in. Cuts to black. Scenes. I love this so much. It's so insane. Scene slowly fades in from a blur. Sen is on the edge of a rock pool, slowly walking. Rhea is above him, still keeping her personal space.
I was
Y'all need
starting
that
to get
personal
worried about you.
space.
God. I was starting to get worried about you. Can you walk?
Sen is still slowly coming around. Yeah, I think so.
Then come on. We need to get back up top.
Rhea starts walking into the cave. Sen struggles to get up on his own, and he starts falling. A moment later, they walk into a very pretty cave. Natural light comes in through a hole on the ceiling. A small creek runs down the center with many stepping stones littering the water. She begins hopping out across the stones. Rhea, wait! How did you survive the attack on Sendaria? Rhea stops and says all this without making eye contact with Sen, and holds back some emotions near the end.
I figured out how to use the song Thalius gave me, but the Voltaris attacked so suddenly. I wanted to fight, but I wasn't ready. Father gave his life to help
Okay,
me
so that does confirm that he's dead. I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to send that to the
I haven't
Discord
told-
user now.
My poor boy.
Yeah, poor
I haven't
kid.
thought of anyone of this, and I don't intend to.
He
It's in
doesn't
the
even have a
past.
chance to
I knew-
reconcile with Sen now. That's actually why I wanted him to stay alive.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't told anyone of this, and I don't intend to. It's in the past. I knew we couldn't fight them alone, so I began recruiting outcasts, mitfists, anyone willing to fight for a
Mitfists.
greater cause.
Great
the
job.
Knights of Ardonia, we call ourselves.
So how did the Knights of Ardonia already existed by the time Sen just got to Ataraxia, though, right? Was it like under Hubris' management,
but
and then
it
she
was like a
swooped in
week.
and took it?
Hubris could have been like her first recruit.
It was like a
maybe.
week though, so
Yeah, maybe it was
Mhm.
maybe Hubris.
Rhea
was, like, her
smiles
first
and lightens
recruit.
up as she realizes it sounds a bit silly.
they thought of the name, not me.
Rhea suddenly realizes how much things have changed for them both.
It feels like it's been forever, Sen.
Sen hops a stone closer. A lot has changed for us both. This wasn't quite what I imagined when I said I wanted to explore the world. Ah, wholesomeness.
Oh,
I feel like it's gonna get really sad soon, though.
God.
Yeah.
I've missed you,
Rhea
Sen.
smiles a
I'm
bit,
glad you're
remembering their old fantasies of adventure. He hops up in stone and gives him a hug.
I missed you, Sen. I'm glad you're with me again.
She returns and hops the stone away.
So that Voltaris, his name is Tigran? I recognized his markings. Now I have a name to face the one who killed my family. Come on.
She leaves and Sen remains for a moment, noticing how Rhea has changed. Back to Abigail, now with Denny, Saxon, and Trevor. My bad. Abigail walks into... this is like the gang here. These four.
Abigail
walks in the front with
Dream
Denny,
with
Sexton... No, I messed up again! Why? Saxon and Trevor talking it back. The Ender Eye still is leading their way. Saxon, just try a sip. Trust me, you'll like it. What is it? It's just a little water, sugar, and netherwort. I don't want to drink netherworts. Bok bok, I think they recruited a chicken. Fine, give me that. Trevor snatches the potion and drinks a sip. Suddenly his words come out extremely fast, speaking super fast. Well, you're right, that does actually taste pretty good. I didn't know netherworts were this delicious. See, I told you that. That's me whenever I panic read. Speaking super fast. What was that? What was that? What did you say? Why is everyone's walking so slow now? Trevor runs away and zooms past Abigail and Denny. They both stop and turn back towards Saxon, who's laughing to himself, laughing quietly to himself. What? I just gave him a little, don't worry, it'll wear off. Hope. Abigail and Denny turn forward and continue walking. Saxon's kind of like a little fallen. And are we still going the right way? Yeah, of course. Wait, what?
Yeah.
She stops and turns around as she no longer sees the eye. Where'd it go? Abigail. Abby, you aren't getting us lost. Oh, pfft, I messed up.
Big brain.
Where'd it go?
Abby, you aren't getting us lost, are you? Trevor's voice fades in and out as he quickly runs past them. Okay, we're going this way now. That's fine by me. I was getting ahead anyway. Come on, keep up. Abigail sees it behind them, but is jittering around in different directions, aimlessly. Luna stands down beside them. In the same shot, another ender dragon lands behind her, somewhat larger. A person on top hops off.
Wait, what?
Another ender dragon?
Oh my goodness.
Just wait. Oh man. Oh no.
Oh, it's Alistair.
Who's Alistair?
I know an Alistair, but that's from something else.
I heard this
Who's Alistair?
but I didn't know who it was. Rennie,
So,
Abigail, and
just
Luna
DMing.
are all surprised. Luna goes on to the defensive, protecting Abigail, who then calms her down a bit. If you're looking for me, you're headed the wrong way.
Who are you?
Someone who has heard of the charming young lady was recruiting a new generation of Endernauts. My name is Alistair Evanstein III.
Oh wow.
Very,
What a fancy title.
very formal.
We don't care about your title.
Very formal. Alistair bows. Abigail looks a bit indifferent, but Denny frowns. And this here is the almighty Thunderdome. Thunderdome raises his head proudly. Luna looks at him suspiciously. Saxon walks a bit forward and makes a comment, somewhat out loud, somewhat to himself. Ah, you two both have dragons. Where can I get mine? Abigail didn't notice the comment and continued speaking to Alistair. We were on our way to find you. Looks like you found us first. Welcome to the team.
Oh, that's
Trevor walks
Infin's
up
line.
slowly. Oh, I messed up. Why do I keep doing
Big brain.
Infin, you go.
No, he's been reading all the lines for the longest time. No wonder.
Yeah.
It's pain and suffering for me. My throat's dry at this point.
We're almost there.
You can
Infin,
read
you're
the
gonna say this line?
Okay. Yeah, we were on our way to find you. Looks like you found us first. Welcome to the team.
Trevor walks up slowly, completely tired and out of breath. Welcome. I'm just going to sit down for a bit. Trevor sits down on the path. Denny has a big frown on his face.
Oh,
He was
I
an
love
unknown to the
Trevor.
viewer and Abigail at the time. You were flying him?
You were
How long ago did he
flying? How
hatch?
long ago did he hatch?
Nearly half a year ago.
Bruh.
Shortly after yours,
You
from what
did
I've
it
gathered.
again.
You did it
No!
again.
You did it again.
Why?
Blast here.
Alistair smiles. During this, Thunderdome moves over to Denny and...
Endernite?
I don't know, maybe. Thunderdome moves over to Denny and nudges him curiously. Denny is interested at first, but also trying to focus on what Alistair and Abigail are saying, as he tries to break them up a bit and get them moving again. Alright, let's keep moving. Saxon, help Trevor up. Alistair seems to ignore Denny. Have you ridden your dragons yet? Sorry, your dragon yet. Infin, go. Infin?
I don't think Luna's ready for that.
Luna looks shocked that Abigail said that, and looks at her surprised.
What? You're still young.
Luna still looks upset. That was a great Abigail
that's
voice
so
right there.
cute. Well, if you could carry me all this time, why didn't you let me know?
Luna instead just uses her head to push Abigail up onto Luna's back.
Oh.
Come on, let's see if she can do her job. Alistair gets back on Thunderdome, draws his sword. A very intricate diamond one. He slaps the side of it against Thunderdome, much to his discomfort. Thunderdome growls a bit and seems somewhat upset, and he then flies off. Abigail is sitting backwards on Luna.
Disrespect. Animal abuse. How dare you?
Someone call it PETA. Yeah, the friend of the dragon is on the other side.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Abigail awkwardly turns around to face forward when suddenly Luna starts rumbling off, running off, getting some speed.
Whoa!
Denny and the others remain behind watching them leave. Really wish we got dragons too. I don't know if... Take a break, dude. Saxon pats Trevor on the shoulder. Luna hurrying along, flapping her wings and hopping, then crashes out of the trees onto a steep cliff and falls off. I love so many of these new characters and falls off. She spreads her wings out, however, and quickly catches the air and flies along the cliff edge. People from Amaria look out at the two small-sized dragons flying by. Abigail catches up to the Alistair and Thunderdome, glancing over as he nods. They fly off away from the camera. Back with the Necromancers, they have a temporary base set up somewhere underground. Necromancers have some prisoners lined up from their attack on Fort Suka.
Oh, it's
These are
Zarya.
all the prisoners from Fort Suka, my lord. Necrolord walks by in front of him. Leave this one. Feed the rest to our children. The spiders?
Oh,
I hear they
Oh,
have quite
God.
the appetite.
Oh god.
Necromancers kick the other prisoners back into a pit which hasn't been shown yet. Zombies are below and eagerly attack prisoners. Okay, it's not the
Oh,
spiders.
gosh.
It should have been the spiders because then Zarya
It's
is
Marcus. Marcus.
Marcus. Oh, Marcus is
He's the
captured.
guy.
Man's got a
Oh,
bad.
no.
Man's been having a tough time. Like first his cake gets stolen. Now he's got captured.
Oh my god.
Worse still,
No, Marky.
worse still. Remember, because that necromancer from episode 5 was taken to the Riverstead prison, that probably means they released him when they attacked. I think David said it himself.
Let's just
What do you
keep
freaks
reading.
want with me? I can't read this voice properly. I'm just gonna say it in my normal
he's
voice.
the one that they're sparing.
What do you freaks want with me? Allow me to explain. Firstly, you are a sheriff of these parts. Sheriff of these parts. And hold valuable knowledge of the surrounding area. Secondly, when you're not otherwise occupied, you help around the fort. You can use someone with your many talents. I'll never work for you. Oh, I think that you will. The Necrolord holds his staff up again. The weaponsmith's eyes start to dilate as he tries not to look into the Wither Skull's eyes. Oh, he's not looking at it. He's not looking at it, so he's gonna be fine.
Tries not to look.
He just throws a cake
looking.
at the Necrolord and he instantly dies.
No.
Roll credits.
You're breaking the serious mood.
The Necrolord holds his staff up again. Okay, never mind. I already read that part. Suddenly, all the undead in the area stop what they're doing and stare towards the staff. Lucan is a bit worried, but he suddenly spots Nika, who's also entranced by the staff. He walks up to Nika and stands beside her. She continues to staring at the staff. Nika, it's me, Lucan. Nika remains motionless. Lucan reaches towards her hand and holds it in her own. Nika turns away from the staff and looks at him, still not recognizing him. Suddenly, all the undead relax. The weaponsmith is now withered and under the Necrolord's control. He tried. You tried, man. They start walking off, and Necrolord then turns towards Zarya.
How many times has Lucan got rejected now? What is this, like the third, fourth time?
This is like the 7th time at this point.
Oh,
Having
God.
flashbacks
Poor Lucan.
to his fight with Kyoshi.
Oh no. Oh.
Zarya, prepare the army. It's time for the next assault. Right away, my lord. Zarya leaves, and Necrolord is about to leave as well, but turns to Lucan, who was listening. Lucan remains calm, and Necrolord moves on. Cut back to Sanuria. They come back out of the top of the cave and look at the vault. Their fighting is over. I may actually make adjustments to TDH to change the Ender Knights and stuff. We need to regroup with the other knights and find out what happened. Cut to them further ahead, approaching the knights. Hubris intercepts them. I thought we had agreed not to engage the Death Singer alone. However, I am glad.
You did it again.
How did I mess up this bad? Okay, you read it. You read it, Infant. Sorry, not Infant, Nemuri.
I literally said the line, but then you like cut me off. So it's like,
why?
We need to regroup with the other knights. Find out what happened. Okay.
I thought we had agreed not to engage the Death Singer alone. However, I'm glad you both survived. Hubris turns to send before he can say anything. Rhea interrupts him.
That Death Singer's alive, folks.
Is everyone alive? Is everyone all right?
We're all alive, thankfully, but the Death Singer made it away with the Prime song. However, well, he was just trying to hold back smiling and Yuri becomes frustrated.
I don't see what's amusing about this.
After the Death
this
Singer
part,
escaped,
this part.
we were met by another Ardoni, someone who can help us.
Can I voice this dude? Can I voice him?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes,
Yes, you can.
yes. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
do it. Do whatever. I don't know who it is. Cuts to
Alright,
Ria
so who's
arriving
the
back
new
to the
kid?
Knights, so she's a bit ticked off. Single Ardoni
Alright,
stands
so
in the
who's the
center
new
of the
kid?
Knights of Ardoni. He has a large staff and bright golden marks. He turns around and addresses Ria warmly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
Welcome back,
him!
Holy Sindar.
It's
My
the
name
Tide
is
Singer!
Achilleosaurus. I am the Tide Singer.
To be continued. Okay, well that's...
We have to leave it at that.
Jeez. Ah, man.
Yee!
Oh,
Yay!
no. Oh,
We're leaving
man.
it off at
God.
that.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Tide boy.
that was
Tide
a lot.
pod.
Yeah.
A lot to take in.
That at all. I thought it was a new
I tried to picture it all in my
No.
mind, like picture what was going on. I do have a very visual. I have a visualization for sure.
Mhm.
So about about the script. So first off, we had Zulius and Hadion instantly dying, which I
Yep.
actually was kind of unsatisfied with. But then immediately after, we got some really good scenes, and I kind of forgive that now because this is gold. This is awesome.
Yay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing
Brain.
I thought I just think it was unnecessary to hype up Zulius so much if he was going to die as soon as the second season started.
I don't necessarily
Did
think
it
that they
Unless
hyped
it was
up
a-
Zulius.
I
They
think they
were
did. They kind of made him
trying.
seem
They
like
were
the
not going
the
to
new
stand a chance
Fallius.
against Death Singer.
No, they
I'm sorry.
didn't.
They really
They
did.
weren't
At least
trying.
that's what I interpreted from it. I must
Brain.
maybe I'm just stupid. That could be it.
They basically
That's
made
just
it
the way
so. I think
that
the whole
wasn't what
point
they
of
were
it was that they wanted to make the Death Singer a threat. So like they were building up Zulius as like, oh, he's really skilled because remember he was like killing off a bunch of Voltars, but then as soon as the Death Singer,
Yeah.
he's just like, yeet.
Well, he wasn't going to stand a chance against Death Singer.
No,
Exactly.
no. I don't even Fallius
None of
wouldn't.
them were.
I
None of
mean,
them were.
I
Not
would
even
say
Fallius.
wouldn't.
Fallius
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Fallius
Well,
might have
maybe
like
Fallius. Well,
Fallius might have held his own for a little while, but he would have lost.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm not
100%.
gonna say
Much
anything,
faster
but
than he lost to Tigrin.
Yeah,
I can
much faster
imagine
than he
if it
lost
had
to
been
Tiger.
animated, there might have been a little bit of a longer battle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely agree with
The
that.
script literally says he
There
runs
should have been
up
a
and
longer
starts
battle
like,
between Vesulius and Tigrin in episode 10. I believe that David or Skyfall or someone said they wanted to make the battle a bit longer.
yeah.
I wonder
but it's okay.
if Skyfall would animate that too.
That'd be
I
cool.
kind of doubt it, to be honest.
yeah.
I know they're like making fan animations, definitely.
No, I
People,
don't think that I
so-
don't think that anyone in BPS had time to work on this if David didn't.
No,
No.
but
Luxia actually did
Yeah.
a layout, so if you go ahead and watch his video, like
Oh,
link
he
it.
did a layout.
But he,
That's pretty
yeah, he
epic.
did a layout.
I might
with
watch I
voice
might
lines.
watch those videos. I don't want to watch past episode 5. So I don't actually know how long this has been going on for. I don't know how long this video has been.
It's
So
probably been like 2 hours.
yeah, it
least.
takes a while to read
At
this.
least.
So
yeah.
Mhm.
this is
Yeah.
gonna be it for today. Overall,
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I wish it was animated. It's honestly better than season 1.
Already.
Yeah.
Already, yeah.
I like season 1 a lot, but it's always gonna be the nostalgic one, and it's gonna be the only one that actually
Mhm.
existed, obviously. But this is really good. I think it's better. And we haven't even gotten to season 3. We haven't even gotten halfway through this season.
I'll say this season 2 is
So
like
many
the
plot
comedic,
twists.
yeah, I'll say this like season 2 is like the comedic season, and then season 3 is just like depression.
Oh, I can't
That's
wait for the
depression.
4th video. We'll probably have another video
Season
where we
3.
do episode 6 to 10 of season 2, then a third video where episode 1 to 5 of
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
3, then a finale with episode. And actually,
Oh,
I actually have heard like some very vague rumors of what happens. Someone who's been a very good man for 2 seasons dies in like season 3, but I have no idea who it is.
Oh.
That's very
Oh
vague.
boy.
That's very
Oh,
vague,
yeah.
of course.
Oh.
Infin, do you have any idea who that could be? Because it's really vague. It just says good man.
Me?
Good
Yeah,
man,
do you have
yes.
any idea?
Mm,
I'm
Is
not
it?
gonna say
It's
anything.
The only
quite
person
vague.
I got spoiled for that died was Zulius, and that was at the very
I
beginning.
yeah, actually, the Blue Miner posted that in Inspirations Discord, and because it said death sound, I was thinking it had to be like a hoax or something. And then I read it and it was like, oh my god, actually. He also spoiled the existence of Val, not her role. He just said there is a character with mobilium wings or something.
Nice.
He also said
Yeah, I
he
had
also
no
said
idea.
that he also mentioned Alistair, but he didn't really say much about him. But that's all I knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got spoiled a couple times on
Aw.
Inspirations Discord server. And once on general, even though Inspiration said, please use off-topic spoilers for spoilers. So good job.
Sin and I are just like talking right now. We're just like, we're just like listing off all the characters that die.
Oh boy.
Oh man, imagine what the
It's gotta be a
bloopers
lot
would be
then.
for this. I wish we could see the bloopers. We get more Carl voice bloopers, don't we? Carl's my man.
Sinead's mad. Sinead is mad. Oh, hold on.
Sine, just, I'm not going to, I won't, don't tell me anyone specific, but does anyone that you like die?
Yes. That's all I'm gonna say.
I figured. Nemuri, does anyone you
Then
like
again,
die?
I get attached to characters very, very easily, so.
So if any death would probably hurt me. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, same.
I guess that Zulius wasn't really as much of a big deal as I was thinking. They were setting up Death Singer as a threat. Now that I think about that, that's definitely the right choice. They should have done that. It was the right
Yeah,
idea.
because he is a threat.
I was just upset in the moment. But it's actually really clever. Anyway, I think that ends that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, in actually, Nemuri and Sine already read. Nemuri has read the entire script in one sitting. I don't know if Sine read the entire thing. I think she has. Maybe not in one sitting. Infin's the only one who
Yeah, I
hadn't.
read it. In one
Infin's
sitting.
the only one who hasn't read it yet. So, Infin, did you enjoy
How
it
long
as
is it?
well? Yeah, me too. I hadn't
Me?
read it before this.
Yeah.
So, geez, that was pretty insane. I'm actually looking forward to the next season. And as always, thanks
Yeah.
to Black Plasma Studios and David
Yeah.
for making this a thing. I know it's not the full season. It could have been better, but look, the script is already really good. I'm just happy he released it and gave us closure. I would have been really upset if he didn't, if the story just ended and we never got to see how it finished. I'm just so happy he actually had the respect for everyone to do this. He's a great director, great person. I hope he does good in his new video games. I'm probably gonna download his first video game and see how it is. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That basically, I don't have much reason to stay here. Um, stay tuned for all you viewers. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will be reading. I can't guarantee everyone will be here still. I think Infant will probably still be here. I might introduce some new people if I can. Um, I'll see what I can do. But next episode, I will be reading episodes. Next part of this, I will be reading season 2, episode 6 to season 2, episode 10. So, see you all next time, and goodbye. Thanks to Infin, Sine, and Nemuri for being here as well. I forgot to mention that. Big thanks.
Awesome.
Big thanks.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome Gaming 42.
Yeah.
I'm going to end the recording now.
Yeah.
So everyone, thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you.
And hashtag Songs of War will live on.